about that, Kent?
Yep.
Kent Wallace from Cahoots Magazine. Welcome to the show. That's the George Rodriguez show on SoFloRadio.com. We're playing more Livesays music. That all ties into Hollywood because we're going to be Hollywood intensive again whenever you're here. Okay. Whether or not you're wearing a pink shirt, we get Hollywood intensive.
I am pink today.
But Billy Livesay from the Livesays is going to be showing up around 2 o'clock today. He also has a lot of great chest hair, but that doesn't stop him from sounding really good.
I wore the pink shirt today so you wouldn't have to gawk at my chest hair.
It's not something that you can avoid when it just spills out of your chest in big thick clumps like that.
It looks kind of perm today.
Well, I had it done when I was down there. It was turned into dreadlocks while I was in Jamaica.
I know people when they're starting to go, they go silver. They get their
dreads.
hair shined. They get it just lightened up a little bit more, so it doesn't look so gray. So it looks a little bit more white.
Hey, listen, I wasn't even supposed to be alive at this point in my life. I'm proud to be.
Was that your big plan?
That was the over under had me down there. Believe me,
live fast, die young.
It was a big winner.
He won that bet, didn't he?
I didn't.
Yeah, well, it's like the Who song talking about my generation.
Yeah,
hope I die before I get old. And well, they didn't. Oh, well, John Entwistle.
Yeah, Entwistle. Well, and Moon.
And Moon, yeah, he's the only one that kept his word there.
Yeah,
he's the only one that meant that when they were singing that. It's like, yo, the rest of you guys, you're lying. You're not dying. He said, if I'm lying, I'm dying. They were lying, but they're not dying. And here we were.
And he was
making no sense right away from the onset. Kent Wallace's excuse for being here is that he's with Cahoots Magazine, and we're in Cahoots.
We are.
With Cahoots. There's really no other way to put it. We might as well just come right out in the open with that. And you're wearing the pink shirt, and now because I didn't want people to think that the relationship that we had was anything other than strictly professional and nepotistic and just like whatever. It's a collusion. But now that you're wearing the pink shirt, I've had enough to deal with all my life professionally.
You seem lonely.
With Neil's as Neil's producer and with Boca Brit as my oftentimes co-hostess. A lot of people think a few things. I need to carry my children around as ID. for my heterosexuality.
Yes, absolutely.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I actually have physical evidence and a whole
DNA, man.
A DNA certificate right there.
DNA certificate, that's it. From the Maury Povich show, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah, which I love. They should just have a show called Paternity, hosted by Maury or anybody. That show could be hosted by a robot.
It could.
As long as the robots follow the screaming woman, it's usually the screaming woman out of the studio. You notice they put cameras everywhere. And
is that a black joke?
Any nook and cranny. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've been on that show under multiple aliases.
I bet.
Listen, they weren't all Jack. I know that they all look the same to you, Kent, but they weren't. They weren't all Jack. I gotta break the bad news to you.
Yeah.
So something is coming. I got a couple tirades to talk about.
All
I don't know if I should do the tirades first or
let's get the
right into the art walk that's going on. And these art walk. Hollywood-specific tirades that are going on right now.
Well, let's do Art Walk first, please, because you know what? It is extraordinary that on the third Saturday of every month that Art Walk exists, and there are a multitude of galleries, no less than 12, I'd probably say closer to 20, that open their doors, and they, and there's local art, and there's music, and magicians, and foot painting, and you name it. It becomes a carnival. It becomes a literal carnival of art.
They paint your feet?
They will paint. Hey, listen, Jesus washed feet. In this town, we paint them.
Okay, well, no, I don't want to judge Hollywood.
No, that's Daniel. Daniel Pontet, the artist, and the drumming circle. Those guys are all the Resurrection drums. And they're out in the street, and they draw, quite frankly, the largest crowds. And then the people disperse, and they go to the galleries. There are galleries on Hollywood. There are galleries on Harrison. You can make, you just walk around and go up the arteries 19, 20, 21.
Sure.
And you run into just this fabulous experience that happens every third Saturday. That's tomorrow, the summer solstice.
Is it tomorrow, the summer solstice?
It is.
Well, I did not know that.
See?
What a wonderful thing. And so say it again. How many people? How many participants?
I would say there's close to 20 galleries on any given art walk, and not just galleries, by the way. Sometimes it could be a shop that sells jewelry, or the salon, or Case's place up the street, the Shade Post, which is a fashion place. Because there are, art is not just a painting on a wall, right? I mean, it's a pretty broad swath. And so Okay, that's
Yeah,
and so there, you
Gonna get
know,
to
art
this here.
is where you find it, as it were, and it's just wonderful. This town rocks. Again, as I said the last time I was on, I've seen this happen in Mendocino, California. I've seen it happen in downtown Vegas. I worked the art scene in New York City for years, and Hollywood rivals them all. Hollywood ought to be very proud and ought to be partly defined by the fact that it is an artist community with wonderful art and unafraid to exhibit it.
You're speaking of unafraid to exhibit. I got to take. Jack is my my producer, co-host, board up a lot of things, and one of the reasons that I'm glad to have Jack in my life is because he likes to point out the kind of casual racism that especially older folks like yourself, Kent, kind of find themselves slipping into because in an Archie Bunker innocent racist sort of way, you're from a generation that just really wasn't aware of how racist they were.
No, no feelings are hurt.
You had Amos and Andy, and you had the Bugs Bunny cartoons with the black face, and you had businesses like Coon's Chicken. But some of us young folks, younger folks like myself here, we're shocked and taken aback when we see this kind of thing because we didn't grow up being very used to these kinds of ads here. That
if someone wants to place an ad, this is America. You let them place the ad, for God's sakes. What are you're going to start now?
I don't believe this
telling
is real.
People they cannot place an ad
I don't
in
believe
America.
I'm going to throw a flag on your players. Flag. I got to be very careful since you're wearing that pink shirt today.
That's right.
Careful.
But this ad for Thuggies in Cahoots magazine, the Hollywood's most racist newspaper. Casual and innocent racism. What is the implication here? Thuggies.
No. First, read the ad.
Read the ad.
And the ad over here it says Thuggies, and it's got some
three
toddlers dressed
of a multitude of colors, I might add.
Yes, but they're dressed
including white.
In
fact, that kid's white. He hadn't been in the sun in his whole freaking life.
Very white. He's Vanilla Ice right there.
Exactly.
But they're dressed very stereotypically in a hip hop rapper kind of fashions. Wouldn't you? Is that what you describe those as, Jack here? But it's the caption. Hip hop gangster rappy kind of stereotypes is what they're dressed like over here. This isn't like I'm wearing a flannel shirt here. This isn't
tattoos
like
and
Northwestern Seattle grunge jeans and t-shirts and flannel. If your baby is dark chocolate, mocha, or just plain vanilla, we got them covered. Pamper your little homies, okay? So it's not just the imagery.
Yeah, but you're talking about homos because I'm wearing a pink shirt, so I'm not sure. You're not.
I made no such implication. I have no idea what you're talking about. Pamper your little homies with Thuggies, the diaper for that gangsta rap generation and beyond.
Uses the term homies?
We're careful with the language over here. This is it's a church-going show.
Oh, pardon my part.
Free baby bling catalog in every pack. Although I might say the F word over here later when I talk about the food service here on this very block. Available in all popular gang colors and 4 sizes. And,
is that right?
And this is to a man like yourself, Kent. You don't understand the casual racism.
The whole colors thing came about a long time ago. Look at the Celtic tribes. Look at the Vikings.
Sure.
Their outfits, their colors, affiliation has been around long before it became a money-making popularity contest, my friend.
All right. Just because we want to have an app
F you in your pink shirt.
Oh man! Oh, you hear that? So when you offend the dark folks,
this happens to be be my color.
They come at you. When you offend the Negroes, they come at you like that.
Negroes.
Just because we want to have an app called Blackface Time for the people that want to tell jokes but don't want to have to say the N-word themselves.
Oh, can't say it.
We're actually, I'm going to create that. Blackface Time, it's going to have the, a minstrel for the little icon there. The minstrel for the icon. Jack and I are going to develop
like that.
You set the joke up, and then someone like Black Jack, designated black person, will deliver the punchline.
Let's give it
for
to
you.
him.
That's a good one.
You want an example of it?
Ahead,
I dial Jack up, and I say, what do you call a black man who drives a Mercedes and wears an Armani suit? And then you say, I don't know, and then the app says,
nigga.
Say, and you can just enjoy your racist humor guilt-free.
I love it.
With Blackface Time, 10% of every dollar goes to the NAACP.
Yeah.
I love
it.
My girlfriend's on the minstrel side.
And the United Negro College Fund, because we support any organization where you're allowed to say the word Negro in public and not be considered racist.
I know. It's amazing.
And we support anybody that supports Donald Sterling.
Rocks.
Oh, did you hear the latest?
In there
nice segue, Jack. Did you hear the latest Donald Sterling thing?
Oh, no. What he did
in order to prove that he's not demented. He allowed himself to be interviewed by some, brain doctors, some shrinks and everything, and they certified that this man is absolutely demented. So he took issue with them in his latest set of recordings. The doctors recorded him threatening them and saying he's going to have them fired, disbarred, tarred and feathered, drawn and quartered, keel hauled, and just all this babbling nonsense because they had the nerve to suggest that he doesn't have all of his mental capacity wits about him. Can you imagine that? This guy, it just keeps getting. He's a traveling roadster.
he's class.
But he's rich, you know it, so he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about any of that. So here's something I do care about, and it does have to do with Hollywood. Since we got rid of, we did justice to the Thuggies thing.
Yes.
And placated Jack, and then placated you a little bit with the art thing, which we will be revisiting frequently throughout the show.
Goody.
Also, I don't know if they're participating because there are places in this on this block here, like PRL, that has art for sale on the walls, and I don't know if they have.
Well, PRL, as I wrote in the column, they do a first Friday event. They're not part of the third Saturday thing, and they have artists come in and they do an exhibit.
Julie
hosts
that.
Love
J-Rock.
Julie. She's great. Julie's wonderful.
I've known her for years.
And Lisa is
when
her
I met
sidekick.
her, really, I did not know that. When I met Julie, she had a mohawk. She looked like a cockatoo, the bird.
He just wanted to say cockatoo.
Sick pervert.
That's it.
Perverted pink shirt wearing salty old man. So anyway, she was pouring drinks there at PRL, and she had a mohawk, and I thought she was just beautiful, and I said so. Right then
She's
and there,
hot.
it's like, known her for a long time.
And Lisa, you need to go back in and meet Lisa. She's another wonderful, and they're both artists. Julie does the earrings and stuff like that.
Yep.
And Lisa creates necklaces. I'm not wearing mine today, but it's a great. I love PRL, and again, every first Friday.
If I wear a necklace, it has to open beer bottles also. Everything that I have has a certain
has to be able to open a beer bottle.
And stuff like my keychain opens beer bottles, and it's a flashlight, and it has a compass on it.
God, I knew a guy who could open it with his mouth. Beer bottle. Seriously.
Yeah.
He was a bass player in a band I was in when I was many years ago, and he would jog. He took up jogging, but he smoked, and this is no joke. He smoked cigarettes while he jogged and opened beer. I kid you not.
Yeah.
Barry Lather.
So here's what I was
alluding
to before I got distracted by Julie. Yesterday, I'm here in the studio doing some work. We have wonderful restaurants right here in downtown Hollywood, and on this block especially. One of my favorites is Chocolata. I'll get to you guys in a second. I have breakfast and Chocolata usually when I'm doing the show, and today is no exception. Second time in as many days. Yesterday I'm here doing some afternoon work. I decided to go down to Pizza Rustica for a slice, pepperoni with some vegetables and everything. And nobody's in there except the guy making pizza. So I point to one and I say, I want this one, please. And he goes and he puts it in the oven. He takes it out. He puts it in a box. The girl that worked there, she was running late. She's coming in as the guy is bringing me the pizza box. Okay. And whatever, he like rang it up or something. Yeah, he rings it up. Okay. The girl is coming in. She's walking behind me. He rings it up. I hand him my money. The girl walks behind the counter. He hands her the money and the ticket that he just printed up for me and says, give this man his change. I just completed my transaction. And he goes walking off. This is yesterday, Pizza Rustica. He goes walking off. The girl grabs my money and the ticket. Okay, the phone starts ringing. She puts the money and the ticket down, picks up the phone, and proceeds to take this really lengthy order with the computer while my pizza's sitting in front of me getting cold. And I go, hello, and then she's looking in the mirror, and I'm making faces like, give me my change. I just gave you the money. Just give me my change. And I'm about to say the F word over here. I didn't say that, but I'm making that expression with my face because I'm a pussy. So, not for long. And she's like, and she holds up a finger. Yeah, but only as an insult.
Like the hold-on finger.
Like the hold-on finger. You're going to say pussy as an insult. Here's a radio rule that might surprise you or not. You can say pussy as an insult, meaning an emasculine man or a coward, but you can't use it as a body part.
Right.
Because the FCC rules are about you can...
Or as a cat. It could be a cat, a pussy
sex is bad. Insulting someone and hurting their feelings is okay. But talking about sex is bad.
That's very
Just so you know what the rules are.
I know.
For example, you can say...
A cock is a rooster.
You can say, you dick, but you can't say my dick. That's FCC rules and regulations. You can call someone a dick.
So Richard Nixon's wife could not have come on the air and said, I love my dick.
No. No.
Jesus,
but she could come on and say, I love dick. Okay, as long as she didn't use, you know, first person possessive, because we all knew she had one. So anyway, and by the way, and this is just a disclaimer for my life, all of my people that know me, and most of the people are very good about this. I have a very action-packed life. I have a lot of things that I have to do, and so my schedule, when I'm in work mode, gets pretty tight. You see the pictures that I post on Hollywood Beach. I'm pointing towards the beach. The pictures that I post. Speaking of pointing towards the beach, and nobody can see us unless they're webcamming. Today on the webcam, you got to see me crawling around on the floor. A rare treat, because normally you just get to see me pick my nose and scratch my ass. But today they actually got to see me running cable, crawling around on all fours, trying to run cable and get power cords into the correct things. So my schedule is such that when I'm in getting things done mode, not sitting on the beach drinking premixed margaritas with a friend mode, where we all get in modes, I have a schedule to keep. Like usually I'll start something recording, and then that gives me enough time to go get a slice of pizza, come back up here, and it's done recording. I can move on to the next stage. This morning, for example, hey, you people at Chocolata, I've got a radio show to do, so I'm allocating this much time to go get my food, and I'm timing.
Chocolata's pretty...
I'm gonna...
I've found that.
I go to Chocolata all the time.
I factor that in. I'm a new guy here, but I do factor
I know exactly
that
what's going on. I know what I'm doing.
Well, back to the Rustica. I mean, they're telling you to hold on.
So
what's worse is your pizza's getting cold.
The pizza's getting cold, so I open up the box and I start eating it, and the cook that took my money gives me a look, and I'm like... And he gives the girl a look, and I'm like, you didn't have to pick up the phone! You didn't have to give me my change, then take the phone order, for the love of God! Exactly. I was here first! I was here transacting before the phone call came in, bitch! Give me my fucking money, my change! I got a recording going on upstairs. Anyway... So that was it. So I'm halfway. I eat half my freaking pizza by the time she goes, I'm sorry, sir. I just grab it and go. No, you're not.
And it's so fun because you wanted to eat it sitting up here. It's like me. I wanted to be in a special place with everything done right.
I had plans, and it's not a big deal. By the way, if you think I'm a hard ass, I'm not. I'm very flexible, very understanding to waiters and waitresses and servers and cooks. I understand that we live in a world of variables and this and that. But that was a foul. That was a foul move, a food service foul, because I was there. All you have to do is give me the change and then take the phone order.
Hold on one moment. The people
call back. For the love of God, the person on the phone is more important than the person standing right in front of you with their pizza getting cold,
bitch! A real live person, by the way.
So this morning I called the Russians at Chocolata, and I'm in love with Anya.
Is that the one with the wolf
blonde? She's the turned up nose and the butt. Oh my God, Anya!
High cheekbones.
That was the consolation of having to stand there this morning like a tool, was I got to see Anya walk by even more. So I call in my egg order. All the time. We do this all the time. And I know there's a line of people, and there's my order sitting on the shelf getting cold. Okay. Ooh. All right, there it is. And they're helping people, and there's my order sitting on the shelf getting cold. And okay. Okay, there it is, because it's eggs, you know, so who cares if your over easy eggs are ice cold by the time you get them, right, Kent Wallace?
Sure.
You know, who cares if they're just like a gelatin now? This is egg jelly. I can't put it in the microwave.
Well, actually, if you don't get to it pretty soon, a little bird might sprout out of there, and you could...
Sure, no, not the way...
Next thing you know, you're having legs and breasts.
So anyway, it's my turn. Okay, can I help you? Katya, you're beautiful. You're too young to need all that makeup. Katya, she's looking for a man. Eyelashes all painted up. Wow. She's like 23, 25, and she's just got a ton of makeup on.
It's a little long in the tooth.
Beautiful for a Russian child bride, absolutely. But I know there's some old Arabs that, well, you know, prime.
Well, because they go by a different calendar. That's only like 3 to them, Arabs.
Sure. So Katya, you know, and there's my order. Pick up order for George, and she opens it up and she looks at it and she puts it on the counter. Are you ready for this?
I am.
She goes, 440. She looks at the check. She goes, it's 440 thing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. I hand her $5. She takes the $5, the check. She's reaching for the catcher. So the phone rings. The phone rings. She puts the money down. She puts the check down. She picks up the phone. She picks up another pad. She starts taking a phone order for the next 10 minutes. Well, Katya! Oh, just a second. Katya, my money's right to give me the...
Oh, Lord. Oh, my.
Katya! And, and of course, I would leave, but it's like, I need the salt packets, the ketchup, the silverware, and everything. And she hands it to me and goes, do you want the bag? I go, the silverware, the salt, the ketchup. Oh, do we
if I can interject just for a moment. Please. I have a very dear friend. One of the first people I met when I moved in here was a friend of Fred's, is Michelle, who owns and is a chef at Face, which is a kind of a high-end place. And one of his utter frustrations is that the service industry here, the talent pool, there's a lot of people who want work, but they're just grossly unprepared for real service industry. And I don't care if it's a McDonald's, I don't care if it's as high class as Face, or everything in the middle. You simply have to understand you are in the service industry, meaning you serve. Right. And that's it. And Vegas, of course, I come from New York, Vegas, San Francisco, where they're Vegas pros at every level.
Are you kidding?
Oh, and
Vegas is like a contest to see who can.
They have an Olympics.
Would you mind if I interject? Because it's.
Go ahead. I'll sit here and read Cahoots newspaper.
Yeah, read Cahoots.
You two interject on each other.
This is the perfect time for me to speak about my displeasure that I had
good.
At Brother Jimmy's down at Brickell, which me and the staff at Miami Media School will never be going to again because we just railed this.
When you get bad service, do you factor in,
that the black thing?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I was outnumbered. There were more, lighter toned people than I was.
All right.
But and I almost got in a fight with a Colombian because
all kinds of stories now.
Yeah, all types.
Can't wait to hear these.
Yeah,
I want to hear what happened.
All right. Well, the day before, we ended up going to Brother Jimmy's for happy hour. And, of course, drinks are half off or whatever, so we thought. So the waitress ended up charging us the full cost for the drinks. So we all had cards on us, so we were about to pay her, but I only had $1 on me, so I just gave her $1. The other female that was there gave her $2. So last night we went again, the rest of the staff. And she was like, did I do something wrong? And we were like, no, why'd you say that? Yeah, because I only got $1 and, I only get paid $4. Mind you, the other staff members that we had there were women. And they just saw that because she was talking to us who were there previously, 2 guys.
Right.
And they was like, the nerve of this bitch. Blah, 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 blah. We're sitting here. It was like, we didn't order food yet, right? So there's a good chance it might get stepped on,
right,
and the whole 9.
So
they could care less. They just railed there the whole time.
Oh, they nailed her.
So by the end of the night, she ended up charging us for extra drinks and all this. Called the manager. Oh, I don't know if I should trust you. Now I didn't say a word, so this had nothing to do with me being black or anything like that. You just had 2 Hispanic women that weren't playing that shit. Stuff. Excuse me. And, she tried to charge us for extra drinks. Well, I don't know if you guys are, I can't take you for your word. And they're saying,
what is she talking about?
Isn't this the situation where the customer is always right?
Yeah.
Well, not all the time. It depends. I was like,
depends on what?
Who gave you guys etiquette? I mean, who taught you etiquette?
That's
as far
the
as,
problem down
service?
here. And I'm telling you, it's a endemic, is that it? What's the word?
That's the word.
It's tragic because it's really bizarre, and it's okay that we're all the same and we all love each other and everyone kumbaya. Bullshit. If I'm paying and you're making the money, you're serving, do your job.
That's the order of it.
I've cleaned, I've worked in restaurants, I've worked in cleaning in homes. I cleaned toilets. You know what? Didn't feel great about doing it, but it was my job and I did a great job.
You're providing
you could have eaten off my frickin' toilets. I'll tell you that. And because that's respect. Basic respect. I think
I ate off your toilets. I was the one. If you saw spaghetti left over
that was it.
Noodle strips.
So those were actually meatballs that fell in?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, God.
How did you think they were?
I don't know.
Pellet droppings.
Italian sausage. That's what that was. I agree with you. Look, I came here yesterday afternoon. I vacuumed. I cleaned because we had 2 shows going off, and this one, we do dishes. I'm listed on my Facebook profile. I'm listed as janitor at SoFloRadio.com because that's not a lie. I own it, but I clean everything up. And when the studio was over in my man cave, I cleaned the toilets. I cleaned up after everybody's piss. So I don't care. That was my job. Unless I pay somebody else, and if I'm paying you for a freaking pizza, how simple is a transaction like that? There's the pizza. Here's your money. Bye. Right. Put some tip in the tip jar.
They're going to rank it as the one slice guy's not as valuable as the whole
You're not going to lose the order if you wait 2 more rings.
Jesus.
2 freaking rings to get that thing going.
Well, you got a lot of options, so sometimes you have to punish these people by taking your business elsewhere, at least for a while.
Or don't give them a tip. That's what we did.
Well, if it's the server itself, certainly. Yeah. But the way to let the management know that the server, because you always feel bad because nobody wants to take someone's livelihood away from them. But there's a line there. At some point, it's like F you, because they're not doing their bosses any service Because people won't come back.
More insult to injury, the person that said that, the customer is sometimes right was the manager. The manager said that. And we're sitting there like, I guess you figured because we were sitting there for 2 hours.
Euphemism.
We were sitting there for 2 hours. We're joking. None of us are hammered.
Right.
I barely had a drink. I had one.
What the hell's your problem?
So, yeah, well, I had my experience.
Well, I know what Jack's problem is. By the way, you remind me of a principle, and I know how Seinfeld had names for phenomenons, like close talker, or he's a things like
master
that.
of your domain.
I don't have a name for it yet, but there's a phenomenon here. People like Boca Britt, my friend Oedipus, and now I have a new friend. He's not a new friend, but I just discovered this aspect of his personality, and so it begs me to come up with a name for the phenomenon, and you just mentioned it. People who, and I don't know, we're coming up with a label here. We're coming up with a tag. We're brainstorming here. We do a lot on this show, Kent Wallace. I know it's new to you, but we cover everything. People who like to fuck with the people who are going to be bringing you or making your food. There's got to be a name for that kind of insanity. The person that orders food on the phone and likes to bust the balls of the person taking their order. They hang up the phone, and I'm like, first of all, if I'd known that you were we're gonna, a food fucker, whatever we're gonna name that person, whatever label. If I'd known that you were the kind of person that fucks with the people who are handling your food, I would have ordered. Second of all, what is it about the taste of phlegm that you like so much? Can't you just go get an oyster like a normal person? Why do you have to fuck with the person who's going to be making my food now? All right? Because Tabasco. I guarantee you, first of all, let's just pretend that all that shit that you said was as funny as you think it is. Let's just pretend that the comedy, your shtick lock, was actually funny to them. All right? And not just to you. And by the way, just between you and me, it was only funny to you.
I think you should call them a blindfold, because that means they're about to get a bullet.
That's something, boy.
Call them a blindfold.
Hey, first of all, let's just presume that they thought it was funny. They're probably busy. I'm guessing that they're busy because of their work taking food delivery orders at wherever it is that you're calling. I bet you they're busy with the phone ringing. Hey, I bet you there's someone standing in front of them waiting to pay for their fucking sandwich, and you're keeping them on the phone making jokes, asshole. I bet you that's me standing there.
Probably.
Why they're not, because some asshole on the phone. That explains the look on their face as they're rolling their eyes going, oh my God, is this guy ever going to get to his food order? Or is he going to sit here and crack jokes like he's on the Tonight Show? I'm going to spit in his food over here. As soon as I hang up on the phone, I'm going to tell the cook that
you get cold food, they get spit in their food. Nobody wins. Nobody
wins when you're the joker, a food joker. Boca, a particular thing, both before, during, and after his life change. And this is a particular branch of that same phenomenon. Because there's Venn diagrams, overlapping circles. His particular personalities, he liked to crack jokes that only he got. The comedy, that what he got out of it, the payoff, what would release endorphins in his brain, is the look of confusion on the look of the person that he's talking to.
That means it would work.
Right. The payoff, this is how I know that he got a little mini orgasm right there in his pants, is when he would get the waiter or waitress to flutter their eyebrows, like an android in Star Trek having a meltdown, If he could achieve that, the fast, rapid blinking as the person was trying to process this nonsense that they just heard. And to be polite, because that's a horrible thing to do to someone, because they're in a position where they have to be polite to you. So to a certain extent, they got to humor you.
And they can't turn.
You got to humor your bullshit.
That's why their eyelashes
and their eyelashes flutter because they're trying to
trying to hold it in.
Exactly. They're trying to hold it in. It's like I'm gonna. As soon as they figure out, this is the ding 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 ding. As soon as they figure out that they're being fucked with. All right. They want to backhand you. But they can't.
But who do they backhand?
The
person they go home to. And that's what makes it cruel, quite frankly.
And that's what turns this into a land of hate. Land of heat and hate that's why there's road rage. Is people like that. People that fuck with the help. People that fuck with the wait staff.
It's an endless cycle.
So now I feel very good and vented, and now we can take a commercial break, and I can get a little bit more water, and maybe go get a slice of pizza. No,
I'm going to go eat off a toilet.
No, go eat off a toilet. The toilets are...
Did you clean it?
I'm very clean here.
No, that's true. I better not.
25 till 1 on All Clean Toilet Radio, SoFloRadio.com.
Breaking terrestrial radio balls. SoFloRadio.com.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Jeff Cohen of the Pizza Loft. The Pizza Loft has been making the best pizza in South Florida for over 300 years.
Wait a minute. Whoa.
What?
Just because you make the best pizza in town don't necessarily mean you can voice your own commercials.
Why not? Look, I just painted my nails for this.
You just get back in the kitchen and do what you know best, okay?
Well, if you think you can do a better job.
A dead man can do better at this, and I'm almost there. Now scram!
All right.
Now see here. You want the best pizza in town? Not to mention a full menu of mouth-watering Italian dishes at prices the whole family can afford? Then you ought to know by now. Pizza Loft is the place for great Italian dining. And the pizza. Monos, I stole my share. That's Pizza Loft, 3514 South University Drive in Davie. Or call 954-916-8880.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty. Here's how it works. Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then, you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right? Radio Loyalty. Click that banner to join now.
SoFloRadio.com remains on the air with free archives thanks to the support of our listeners. Help keep us on the air by clicking the donate button on SoFloRadio.com. And thank you for your generous support.
I remember when I was a kid, every June felt just like this. Anticipation for summer vacation, I couldn't wait for school to end, so I July and our back pocket. Our life is just a walk in the park. You light me up like a bottle rocket when you're holding me. Oh, loving you's like an endless summer, living a dream, loving each other, sharing plans we've made for an endless summer. Loving you's like an endless summer, living a dream, loving each other, sharing plans we've made for an endless summer I remember when I was a kid, every June felt just like this. Just like this. Just like this.
.1, The George Rodriguez Show with Jack Frost. It's the fake name that he likes to use over here. It's my least favorite of all of his optional names, because with a name like Jack and being black, I think that they're just, well, you know, they're way more obvious names right there.
The Frost part is kind of...
Is Jack Frost. And he doesn't even, he likes to spell it like J-A-K. So even like, he's so lucky with that name, and he doesn't like any part of it. I offered to trade him names, you know, for any of my many names, and no. I wonder if you can do that.
The free agency
what's
sector of names now?
What's your blood type, Jack? Because I had an idea for the weirdest tattoo ever.
Bloods or Crips?
My blood type?
I asked you first. No, because you know, like if you get into an accident, they might want to know.
Well, I don't know if it's still you know, available for Haitians.
It doesn't change.
For Haitians to do blood transfusions.
Is it because of the age?
Oh no, you guys can't do it. It's like I can't give my liver.
But you still have to. But you still have a blood type, like in case you need to receive blood. I think Haitians are still allowed to receive blood in order not to die. I know that Republicans are trying to change that law. But for the time being, I think it's still allowable for Haitians to receive medical help if they're bleeding to death.
Oh, I thought they just
in America,
tossed it back in the water.
You get. Yeah, well, you know,
chum.
And you get a free mud.
Oh, there's your blood type.
Free mud cookie and a slow ride back.
Mud pie. Pardon me.
With the next tide over there. Well, the reason here's a revolutionary idea that I had. I don't think it's been done yet. Okay, we all have heard of skin grafts, right?
Right.
That's a thing. I didn't make that up.
Right.
If you get severely burned, someone they usually take skin from your
back,
your
thigh
body
or something like that.
Something, but it has happened that people can donate skin to people.
Yes.
When they don't have, like, they're so severely burned that they don't have enough skin to graft.
Black people started that. If you remember, you're not as old, but they used to say, "Give me skin," and it was very popular.
Was it?
Just so you know,
it was called a handshake.
Talk about Eli Whitney and crap like that and peanut butter, but people don't know that black people invented it with "Give me skin."
I didn't know that. No, you're right. That was back during segregation. Or something. You remember that? Because I don't remember that. I was in another country.
Back when we used to have to
use
different
time.
bathrooms.
I was in a nutsack.
Girls.
Well, it's funny you're actually getting to where I was going. That's why I asked Jack.
Sorry.
If we each carve out a section of skin, like on our upper arm, in a particular shape, and then trade skin, like I would have a black patch of skin and you would have a white patch of skin. Just think of the implications of that. Not only would it be a cool design, potentially cool design, like, you know, like a star or a triangle or something like that, but we would be skin brothers. But just think of all of the implications of that. Like when I fill out my application for the United Negro College Fund, for example, I just point to my arm.
Right.
Over there. And if someone gives you a hard time, say at a restaurant, you're trying to hail a cab, you go, hey, look, see, white skin over here, because you actually have the skin. So it begs the question, what difference does the skin make? Because little by little, we could trade the entire skin suit, with the exception possibly of the face. That would be complicated.
I can refute that theory.
Okay.
It didn't work. It didn't work for Michael Jackson.
And
he's dead.
He did die.
And it doesn't work for Sammy Sosa. But he's just nuts.
But did we consider Michael Jackson still black, even though he wasn't anymore?
I mean, we blacks kind of didn't.
If we exchange arm skin, will my penis get larger?
My
Depends.
penis is getting larger just thinking about it.
But anyway,
very
on a serious
exciting.
note, just think of it, because we're in the fame game, publicity and hounding business over here. That's what radio and show business is all about, right, Kent Wallace?
Absolutely.
That's what wearing pink shirts is all about, is getting attention
Damn
and
right.
getting people to talk about you.
Damn right.
Just
Or
that would
certain guys
that
hitting
would
on
be a
you.
viral video at the very
It's
least.
how you find out who really...
These two guys
You know what I mean?
traded
You know what I'm
traded
talking
skin,
about, Jack.
and like upper arm, like it could be an armband. Just think of it, Jack. Like we could just peel the skin around our upper arm and have an armband. So I'd have a black armband.
We could go to the
you'd have a
Jewish
white
temple
armband.
and go get all the bris shavings.
Oh, the foreskin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
There'd be
yeah.
a bunch of dickheads walking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was a horrible.
Sorry.
That was a horrible.
That was
line.
bad.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. It reminds me of my favorite Bible story called the Rape of Dinah. I know that doesn't sound very pleasant.
Dinah
but,
won't you blow, Dinah won't you blow, Dinah won't you blow.
You
your
didn't
home,
drink
home,
this morning.
home. No,
did you,
absolutely
Kent Wallace?
not.
Because I noticed that
nearly
you are a
enough.
drinking man, though.
I do like to
because
drink. I imbibe.
I see that on your
That's me at
on your
G's.
column.
That's
You
the
do-
office. I love drinking. In fact, well, we had this conversation, and you said it better than articulated better than anyone I've ever heard.
Probably.
Talking about the nature of people getting together in the public
the
houses or
party
saloons
celebration.
or whatever.
Right, the
and
opposite
the
of war.
antithesis of war. Exactly.
That's
and I thought that was
exactly right.
brilliant. And I believe in
is.
it. And I'm not
The
saying you have to
cocktails
kill
and-
yourself, but
It's an important part of that dynamic because in Vino
it-
Veritas, it's part of taking the armor off.
exactly. And the drinking part, so you could go in there theoretically just to socialize, but the idea that you are imbibing a bit, as you say, it lets your hair down, it takes the armor off.
What you got here? Whiskey and water?
A
little yellow?
No, actually, Amanda created a drink called the Jinka. Because one day I don't know, I was wrestling between a vodka tonic and she thought that was a real wimpy drink, and she goes, I'm going to make it one. So now it's gin and vodka.
Okay, I can handle that.
And a little tonic.
I can
it's quite
seriously
good.
handle
It's called
that.
a Jinka.
I'll take it because I like my gin and tonics. I used to be vodka tonic, and I switched to gin. Someone suggested that I try gin again as an adult. And because I said gin, that tastes like rubbing alcohol, and they said, when was the
Pretty
last time
tough.
you had gin? How old were you? I was like 19.
But with the vodka, honestly, it's a nice mix, and they don't fight.
Well, I
each
like
other.
gin. I like a good martini.
I like gin too, but gin.
Our friend Billy Corbin, who's a friend of the show and a friend of the station from Cocaine Cowboys, and Mr. Miami, we agree about gin. Martini's just an excuse to drink gin.
Well,
Just
it
gin.
is.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, and a martini that's not made of gin is not a martini. I'm sorry, that's just the fact. It's vodka with vermouth, and that's what it is. It's a teeny weeny martini.
Nevertheless, I try not to be a hater when it comes to drinks.
I love
when I'm out
drinking.
in party mode, because we were just talking about the festive antithesis of war, and I try not to be a snob. Try not to be
I
all
agree with that.
judgy.
You're
Now
right.
we do a
You're
show
right.
here called By the Glass, which last night was a great show. Andy Ratner from Terrapin Brewing was here with a lot of the craft beers are very big now.
Nice. Yes.
The IPAs and
my.
everything, which is not up my alley, but boy, my tastes have come along as a result of that. So I try not to be a snob because not everyone has had the same opportunities.
That's true.
And once upon a time, I was very naive when it came to alcohol, and all of the alcohols, including the whiskeys and the beers. Although I do got to say, because I'm going back to Montana in July, I'm very excited about that. But they're big into Jim Beam up there. That's where I learned to drink Jim Beam. I went from Jack Daniels to Jim Beam.
I like Wild
and
Turkey.
I didn't like it when I first had Jim Beam. I thought it was a little harsh. I like Jack Daniels better. It's a little
Sweeter,
sweeter,
yeah,
sure. But Jim Beam, it's because it's a real bourbon. But
I like
when you
a real
do a show called By the Glass and they study while we drink, then you become a drinking snob in very short order.
Yeah, you don't want. I agree with you. You don't want to become a drinking snob. It's a to each his own, especially when it comes to alcohol. For God's sakes, in Jamaica where I just was, there was something they called a boom.
Okay.
And you get rum.
All right.
And they put boom. It's like a Red Bull in Jamaica, but it's called boom, and it's really good. And so you get a little boom boom. You get a boom boom.
Well, that's like the vodka Red Bull over here, or the Four Loko.
But this was rum with boom.
Yeah.
And boom sounds better
Boom's
because
not my
Red Bull.
favorite.
That's too, how does that sound cool? Red Bull. You get to say boom.
Sure.
And then when you find out where Red Bull comes from,
does it come from bulls?
Comes from oxen bile.
Oxen bile.
Is that why they got the bull in there?
Is that the tarin?
Well, at least it's truth in advertising.
Yeah, it is.
Sure,
but
that doesn't scare me. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore. I'm one of these I would like
Look
to,
where we
I would like
came
to,
from.
Sure, I would like to be healthy.
Ever seen a birth? Give me a break.
Seen a birth from this far away, buddy, twice.
Exactly. Open sesame.
I was right there. I used to argue with the ex. You've never been through childbirth. Go, yes, I have, twice, and not like you. You were this far away from the action. You were
right there.
3 feet away from it. It's like, and on drugs, I was right there
and sober.
Hey, listen, they're not in pain anyway.
In the face, right?
They're not in pain. It's the ultimate orgasm. I'm convinced that the only thing a woman feels. That's why size doesn't matter. If you ever seen a woman give birth, you know I don't care how big your thing is.
Yeah.
She does not feel it. Right. When you've seen a head and an entire body coming out of a woman's vagina, you know goddamn well the only thing they feel is a kid coming out. That's why so many women have lots of kids, because it's the only time they ever feel anything down there. It's the ultimate orgasm. Giving birth is the ultimate orgasm. I'm telling you right now. I've done studies.
Sounds like a white man's complaint, doesn't it, Jack?
Just a bit.
It's the ultimate orgasm.
So the white man says that the only time a woman feels
What do you think black girls have so many kids? They're like, shit, I'm doing
boy.
that again.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no, I'm serious. That's why.
It's going to be a riot down here in
let me
Hollywood.
tell you something. Let me tell you something. That's why they got surrogates now. Now, why would someone be a surrogate? Why? Because they get the ultimate orgasm and they don't have to raise the frickin' brat. This is the ultimate orgasm.
And you thought that Cahoots magazine was subtly racist, Jack Charles?
I said
until
you thought that it was accidental.
I said surrogate. Surrogate. Uh-oh.
We have phone calls. I can't believe it. It's probably going to be a crank call. It's the only people that call us crank. Hello, SoFlo Radio. Crank call line. You got to turn them up. Actually turn them up. Actually turn the phone pot up. Hello. And off they go. Well, maybe they'll call back. I'm sure it was a call back. I'm sure it felt like a crank call.
It felt cranky.
It felt cranky to me. But that's because that's all we ever get anymore. And I'm still wrestling with my computer trying to get this up. See, what about, man, they interrupted a wonderful racist tirade by Kent Wallace over here.
It wasn't racist. I was talking about
Kent Wallace
women
said
in
black
general.
women have lots of kids. So
because because black women know about the ultimate orgasm. Look at it. Here, what's the first thing? Okay, look, you got a white girl, little proper white girl, right? She says, "I'm saving it until we get married. I'm saving it until we get married." What's the first thing she says once she gets married? Let's start a family. Why? Because she wants the ultimate orgasm.
Proper little white girl. I don't know who that is. Do you know anyone like that? Proper little white girl? Because Jack wants her number.
So I can defile her.
So
first thing they want to do is start a family once they get married. Why? Because they want the ultimate orgasm.
Actually, I heard
I'm going to do a disclaimer.
I heard a great story from a Guatemalan friend as far as to how Hispanic girls save it, because
by having anal sex.
Yeah,
that's not news.
Well, it was great when I heard it when I first heard it.
Yeah, and did you get to take advantage of that knowledge? Or did you use that knowledge?
No, I just went through the front door.
Okay. Yeah, all right. We're just going to get in a lot of trouble today. Well, and by the way, as long as we're piling on, because I keep hearing something.
Piling back door.
Heard something on the corporate news on CNN. I feel the need to touch bases with that and see what they're spewing as in between all the new banging the drums of war now with Iraq and this ISIS. Was it the Islamic State Did you and they're actually, I can think of no other way to put it than they're threatening us with high gas prices. Gas prices are going to skyrocket this summer to levels seen in 2008, all because of the Iraq thing. It's like, so the only oil in the world is in Iraq, and we can't get it, and this is why we have to go back there, because that's what they told us the first time, and we didn't enjoy any oil savings.
Well, they've been saying that from the days of Jimmy Carter.
Again, with the oil and Iraq and the gas prices, and we have to go back. It's like, how stupid do you... Oh, very, very. The answer is very stupid, is what they think we are. So here we go back, and Halliburton and Bechtel, Chinese companies are going to continue raking in billions of dollars off of the war effort, and we don't need to be over there. And never mind that we're just making things worse, and we're fueling the flames, and we're the people that do hate us over there, we're making them right about everything they say, and that is that United States and Israel want to be over there together to take everything away from everyone. So as long as we're over over there, it looks like that.
I'm not going to go.
But
that
that's what
far.
they say.
Well, that's what
they
say.
say.
I
But
think
as long
it's a
as
matter of people would be happy with a sense of
there?
stability. I mean, a certain amount.
But
of
we're the
stability
ones that
would
make
be
it
fine.
unstable.
Well,
I mean, we
I'm
give
not gonna get into
material to the
politics.
bad guys. We're the
we give material to the guys that at the time they're not the bad guys. It's a game, you know. You give a guy because it's in your best interest to give this guy a gun, and then after he's used it in your best interest, you're not allowed to get it back from him. So now his interest might change.
Listen,
that's the nature.
We spent a lot of money propping Saddam up in the first place because
Exactly.
he's a non-bearded Muslim.
Exactly.
I know my Muslims. I hope you do too.
We did the same thing with Noriega.
The non-bearded Muslims, because he's the one that would keep the radicals in check, and we put him in there. But then because we over here decided, because 9/11 and the Saudis attacked, the bearded Muslims attacked us. So we decided that because the bearded Muslims are friends with the Bush family, and there are all those pictures of them holding hands together and eating falafels together, that we're going to attack the enemies of the bearded Muslims. Even though it was the bearded Muslims that attacked us, we're going to attack them. And Saddam's like, whoa, I thought you propped me up here in the first place so that I could keep the bearded Muslims in check, and I've done that exactly what you told me to do. And it's like, yeah, but we want your oil now. Well, you can have it. I thought we just send an email for the love of God. I'm your stooge already. You put me in no, we're going to totally frag your country over there and create a power vacuum that the bearded Muslims are going to go storming into, and now we're going to spend a whole lot of money to get them out of there because that's
Speaking of
profit on the war machine.
Did you know that I think you can get them at Subs in Paradise?
I pulled this menu out.
I saw you pull that out. I don't know if you can get the
Sometimes we call it a segue. Sometimes we call it a train wreck. As Kent Wallace totally derailed my train of thought.
Derailed.
Talking about
I'm sorry.
Iraqi and the Muslims.
I'll
go into what I did see on the news that upset me, not the Iraq
it?
thing, because they're going to suck us into a war again. I got to get.
We're going to war, baby.
Going oil free in my life now.
Get the boot camp.
I got an electric push trailer kit already wish listed on Amazon for my bicycle. Have you seen these? The push trailers for your bicycle create propulsion drive with an electric motor that is recharged with the solar panels that go on top of the push trailer, which is also storage for all your beach gear.
Push trailer?
It's not heavy at all. It's positive energy. It isn't heavy for you to pull because it pushes you. It's your drive.
So it's driving you, actually.
I'll show you. I'll show you right here during the next commercial break. But meanwhile, Subs in Paradise right around the corner. They're going to send us free subs or something? Is that what's
yeah, they're cheap free subs.
We'll plug them.
The cheapest free subs you've ever had.
Well,
I bet you we could call. I bet you would bring
I ride my bike all around Hollywood, and that's what I do, man.
Jimmy is a good guy, though. But they look at the prices. They make great subs.
These are great prices.
They really are. And you know, we all know, in downtown Hollywood, I love it. There are a million restaurants. They're not corporate eateries, which is fine. But it's not necessarily easy to eat inexpensively.
Correct.
You know, and Jimmy's, when you want that nice, inexpensive meal, you can do it.
I walk by or ride my bike by the place all the time.
Well, drop it, because they know of you. I was promoting the show
broke.
vigorously.
Do I talk to Jimmy?
Talk to Jimmy.
Himself?
Get it, yes. Talk to Jimmy.
Okay. And so Kent Wallace said, you totally hooked me up.
Hooked, and he will.
We're in radio. I mean, this is radio talk over here. Because, I mean, I know you have a voice for radio, but I don't know if you actually had a radio career. But part of the perks of radio is sucking up free food. We're all crumb bums. You know, that's an actual term with a meaning. Some people just throw that out as an insult, but it has its origins in the 20s. The millionaires, and in those days, even, you know, before broadcast television made people like nationally famous, everyone was famous within certain circles, all the way through Shakespeare's time and even in Broadway and everything. Right. If you weren't in a particular class, you didn't know who that person was. Sure. You see, so in New York in the Broadway days and everything before broadcasting, the elites knew who these famous Broadway performers were, but the common man, especially in Middle America, no idea who it was. But the rich people, the show attendees, would decorate their parties with these celebrities who they knew weren't making a lot of money, really, because you know, that was the nature of the industry. The club owners made a lot of money, but the singers, the musicians, and everything. So they would invite them to parties so that they could impress their guests with, oh, look who's here, you know, from the show that we just saw and everything. And those celebrities would get to enjoy a lifestyle that was out of their price range.
Right.
Okay. They got to enjoy all the food. And so they were called crumb bums because they would
they
were
there to pick up the crumbs. Nice.
Al
See,
Goldstein
this is an educational show.
It is an educational show. So some of us make quite a living out of being a crumb bum. And now, years later, they have this term called freegan. Have you heard this term freegan?
No.
Which is the politically correct term for dumpster diving.
Sounds like friggin'.
Oh, a freegan?
A freegan.
Freegan.
A dumpster diver, basically.
But it just sounds too
It's a little bit more glorious. It's a little bit more.
It does sound glorious.
A freegan is like
but a freegan
dumpster,
can't eat
a
an
dumpster
old burger?
diver. A dumpster diver with some standards over here. They've got their circuit. They know when the restaurant is going to be throwing away
the lettuce.
The lettuce and the day-old stuff. They know what the Dunkin' Donuts or the Krispy Kreme, they're going to be sending out the day-old bagels and donuts out there, and they just grab the bags.
That's cool.
They hit the garbage. Freegan. And it's also, it's not called homelessness anymore. It's called urban camping.
Urban camping, I
yes,
like
because
that.
I want to explore both of these things: urban foraging or freeganism, and and urban camping over here. So I'm going to talk to Jimmy, and we're going to like Jimmy. Kent Wallace told me all about how wonderful your subs are, but I work in show business, so I don't have any money. So tell me, when do you throw out? What day of the week?
And where's your dumpster? Which of those
around
dumpsters
what time?
is yours?
Which is your dumpster, and when do you throw out the salami that doesn't pass the sniff test? Just exactly because
that's why I got divorced on the third wife. He said, so that's it. You're out.
The salami didn't pass the sniff test.
Yeah.
Oh, on that note, it's 1 o'clock on all Sniff Test Radio, SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com. Filling the radio void.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Are you thinking about getting your GED diploma? Well, here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a number of pep talks that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You know that feeling? People look at you and don't believe in you.
You want some gentle encouragement. Then you're on your way to your GED diploma and a better life.
But I know they're probably just a little bit nervous. You can find it in yourself to take that first step.
You can improve your future. You can do this. I know you can.
You need to start pushing yourself.
Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up. Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need to get your GED diploma, we've got a pep talk that's right for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and find free GED classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education, brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's radio loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the radio loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Most important online radio station.
It's easier than ever to listen to SoFlo. On the air and everywhere. On any computer, any mobile device, iPhone, iTouch, and anywhere you are, just hit SoFloRadio.com. Tell your friends about South Florida's radio network, SoFloRadio.com.
Talk to me if I were somebody. Would you feel secure if I were someone? Could you lie with your hands behind your head, looking up at the sun beside me, laying beside you, sharing a dream and reaching for that star that's gonna be in the air.
not going to read about stingrays. 107, SoFloRadio.com. Kent Wallace is here on the show. That's the George Rodriguez Show. You can see, because I've got this really cool sign on the air and there's behind me. On this,
Right.
It cost me $60.
$60?
Yep, they're Kinko's. FedEx
Doesn't
Kinko's
say
right here in
George,
Hollywood.
it
It says Jorge, but I go by George because I was reared in the South. That's my line. I was reared in the South, here in the Redlands, which is now...
And you're a
just
white guy with
so
hazel
sprung.
eyes. I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah, this is what we look like when we don't have sex. What the hell? Oh, sorry, Jack. Oh, jeez.
You better not.
No, just speaking of jeez, because I was going to ask you, since you're a drunk, I mean, since you like to hang out around town, what's the best happy hour? If you're a cheap drunk like me,
If you want my honest, I will tell
because you like G's,
George,
and
I
I
love
like
G's.
and I like G's, so we're going to spend
I
some
love
time.
G's.
We'll spend some time at G's.
We
all right?
should, because
I don't have to just drink at the cheapest watering hole in Hollywood, but I do want to know where it is.
$1.50 for the beers during happy hour.
Okay.
And $2 for my jinkas. I mean, the gin and the vodka. I mean, a drink is $2. I mean, you can go, and then on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday they have that 39-cent deal on the oysters, the clams, and the chicken wings. And they bottle their own sauce now.
I don't understand this deal. Is it what I think it is?
So like you get at least a dozen. It's like a dozen
Explain
wings for
it.
like less than $5. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really, truly is.
And the oysters.
Oysters and clams, either raw or steamed.
So
or
see there, so all my friends that like to bust the chops of the people bringing your food, you can get oysters.
Yeah, well, these are
You
all
don't have to have
Tootsies.
phlegm.
They're all hot
You don't have-
Tootsies. They will, they'll smack you. They won't spit in your food. They'll just smack you.
Oh,
They'll
no,
beat
this
you
is
down.
the people on the phone when he's calling in a phone order. This is
They
what
don't
that means.
tolerate
The
phone
people on
orders
the
at
phone-
G's.
Okay.
You either show up, be there, or be gone.
So what day of the week is these cheap oysters?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday?
Well, no, the cheap
I'm happy.
oysters is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 3 days a week.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 'Cause that's okay.
Tonight, for instance.
It's Friday.
It's Friday.
This is
I mean,
Friday.
it really is a great place. I adore it, and it's close to the home. But I like the Octopus, and I like other places.
The Octopus is crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow. I gotta
Especially after
listen.
2.
Save the Octopus for the end of the night. I gotta
Exactly.
I make that your last stop.
It better be.
It's the one to beat.
There's no beat that.
Everything is anticlimactic after that.
Yeah.
Do you leave the Octopus? The Octopus is like, just if you don't know if you're ready to go home, go to the Octopus. I
love that.
One way or another, you'll figure it out. Is it what is that, a go-go dancer? Aspect of the Octopus, and I love the go-go dancers.
I love that
They're
place. I mean, but
eyebrow raising.
It is eyebrow raising.
The clientele.
And and you're there if you're still there at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're already. I mean,
what I liked about it is no matter
surprise package.
No matter what particular subgroup of humanity you belong to, whether you're a gangster rapper, an Indian chief, or a Dayglow painted raver, you don't look out of place.
No,
at
not
the Octopus.
Not at the
They're all
Octopus.
there together. It's like the Star Wars Cantina and Mos
There you
Eisley
go.
Spaceport. It's all these different creatures with different heads, and they all look like they're from different planets, and they're all talking a different language, but yet
They're
somehow
having a
everybody
good old
understands
time.
each other.
Well,
Yeah, there's 2 for 1s right now. I'll go get you one for that. Oh, yeah, okay.
And everyone knows. I took a
That's
picture
Spanish,
just this afternoon of the bathroom. It says single people only.
Yeah.
So all the married couples, forget about it. But they got to be careful because a lot of people like huddling in the bathroom.
Speaking of the go-go dancers, I saw the same Twi'lek that Jabba fed to the Rancor dancing at the at the Octopus.
I'll bet you did.
Right? Yeah. Obviously, it was fake. The Rancor didn't really eat her.
Well, you can go to the Octopus after the art walk tomorrow.
Sure,
Saturday night,
it's
the art
right
walk.
there. I'd love that to own a little place like that, like the Octopus. If I bought the Octopus, I'd sit there for a long time afterwards, and I'd think, how can I make this place weirder?
You can't.
You can't really.
You really can't.
So G's are good. So I need to look no further for a cheap watering hole.
I'm telling you, in my opinion, G's day in day out is the best little cheap watering
value
hole.
because it's
The
right
value's
on my
unbelievable.
way home.
And the people, the girls are all very attractive. Their servers are cool, and it's just got a family vibe to it. It's great. I've
You're
never
in love
seen
with
any
Amanda.
Yeah,
That's
that's my make believe girlfriend.
Sure, make believe.
I have a make believe girlfriend.
I got a lot of those. A lot of make believe girlfriends.
Yeah, well,
Hundreds.
you're not loyal to your make believe girlfriend. God, what a dog, man!
I'm horrible. I'm a philanderer. My make believe girlfriend over here. Speaking of real life girlfriends, I'm going to talk about this a lot. Going back to Montana, July the 9th through 9th plus 14 more days through the 23rd, something like that. Does that sound about right?
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Middle of July there, I'll be back in Montana. And then there's a chance that I'm going to be bringing a Montanan and an Australian back with me in August to visit here, which wrong time of the year to visit here, of course, I know, but that's just, there's a story behind why
it's really
it
hot.
has to be that. It's hot and humid. Someone from Montana is just, they're going to hide inside. They're just going to like stay in front of the air conditioner. They'll melt.
They understand what ocean, they don't know what ocean.
Well, we'll take them to the ocean. As a matter of fact, I'm getting a special container. It's like a large coffin that I'm wrapping in tinfoil, and that's what I'm used to shuttle them to the ocean with, like they're vampires. But I'm going back to Montana. I haven't been there in 28 years, and just shout out to my friend Heather, who was my first girlfriend up there. I really had one other girlfriend before Heather in my life.
You dated
North
a
Carolina.
few of the guys, you finally got a girlfriend. I'm proud of you for that.
Well, Montana's only slightly less homophobic than Jamaica. Okay.
Oh man, right now they're trying to repeal the buggery laws. You should read the headlines in the papers there.
In Jamaica,
oh
they
God,
really,
it's tough. But you know
they hate the gay people in Jamaica.
They're
man.
not really keen on them, and yet right there in Emancipation Park, they got a statue with a guy hung like a frickin' Secretariat's great grandfather.
What is he, naked?
Yes.
That's creepy.
It's kind of weird, but it's great. I love Jamaica, by the way. I'd never been there. I know that you've got your Jamaican hat on, Jack.
Right. But he's not Jamaican.
No, I know. He's
Haitian.
Haitian, not Jamaican.
Well, he's American.
But I really love the. I mean, it was my first time in Jamaica, and I got to tell you what I
Where'd you go? Hedonism?
Well, no, no. We were down there on business. It was basically New Kingston most of the time, but quickly. I was with my friend from G's, Kenny, who is born in Jamaica.
Okay.
And so we sort of navigate. Immediately we found the little spot where we could hang, where we could buy doodads, we could buy our red stripe, we could whatever. And it was all, right off the bat, and you felt that they were keeping their eye out for you, especially a knucklehead like me wandering around. But I met a lot of friends down there, and I adore it. I love it, and I plan on being back. And this product that we're moving, this diesel catalyst, because sadly, the Caribbean is burning a lot of fuel, diesel, and a very awful grade of it. So there is just lots of bad emissions. I know it's kind of a boring subject, but it really sucks. It's not good and not healthy. And
bad emissions?
Bad emissions, man.
Like when I have too many eggs.
Yeah.
Methane.
Like methane,
beans.
man.
I can't eat the beans like I used to.
The beans.
Particulate matter, man. Particulate matter.
No, I didn't know. So no, I don't know what the deal is. What's the phenomenon behind that? Because is it just the island people, Jack, or is it just black? Because the black people, remember in California, when they had that vote. What was it? It was like a couple years ago. And all the black people turned out to vote because there was some important issue on the ballot, but then that same ballot they voted down gay marriage, and when they did the exit polling, they found out that like by an incredible margin, like 4 to 1, the black people were voting against the gay marriage thing. Is the anti-gay sentiment in Jamaica, is that shared by the Haitians, and is it shared by black Americans in general? What's going on there? As our spokesperson.
Oh, the token black guy?
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm the token spit because I'm as close as it gets here. So.
And Ken is the token white guy. Well,
unless there's somebody, unless there's somebody more spickish than me, it defaults to me anyway. So yeah, what's going on with the homophobia in the amongst the island and/or people of color thing? What is it?
Well, I can't necessarily speak for the Jamaicans. It's kind of like a weird.
Well, don't make me.
Yeah, well, you already have.
Right.
It's kind of like a weird situation because Jamaicans are very flamboyant, as far as their dress and
Okay.
And that, in my opinion, solely my opinion, that would typically attract a gay guy.
Sure.
Not to say that they are gay.
Right. They'd be like Liberace is.
You're talking about dreads and those colorful clothing?
Colorful clothing, fishnet.
I know a giant spliff would attract a gay guy.
I guess.
I know that for a fact. All the gay guys that I know
especially when they use the colored rolling
really
papers.
like a giant spliff. Rainbow colored papers, they're there. But either or, they're attracted by the smell.
Yeah, I mean, the origins of it, I have no idea. But I know, I mean, In
Is you want another
any walk of life, you have your little pockets of gay people. I don't see how you.
You know, here's another irony. Jamaica, we associate it with pot, right? Automatically, and yet it is not legal. In fact, that's the other big issue in the papers right now. They are working aggressively to decriminalize. Now, Kenny was saying he goes into the airport at Montego Bay, big picture of Bob Marley with a big spliff in his mouth, and Kenny said to the guys at the airport, "Take it down." Because it's hypocrisy. You're arresting our kids. You let the tourists smoke reefer, but you arrest our kids for doing it. They can't even travel. So it's a big issue there. So, gay, pot, but you know what? A sophisticated society will constantly grow, will always reevaluate its stances, and that's what Jamaica's doing. I adore the place, frankly.
I think our friend to the station, Billy Corbin, actually did a documentary on that, Square Grouper.
Right.
Where,
I thought that was about weed.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about the cryptics, and one of their main resources. This is the Prime Minister.
The Coptics.
The Coptics. Sorry.
Thank you.
I said the cryptics.
That's me. I'm the cryptics.
Yeah. But I believe I forgot the name of the Prime Minister at the time, but he basically said, "Yeah, that's of Jamaica. That's our main resource, weed." But this was in the 80s.
Tourism, hedonism.
Yeah, but
tourism's huge.
That was after. That was after. Yeah, Appleton's.
By the way, you know how, and I love these things because I'm on
Mine
Facebook all the time, and I don't care what anybody says. I like MySpace better, but for whatever, I like Facebook because that's the default one.
Right.
I like reading the news feed. I like seeing what my friends are posting. Not that everyone is posting something brilliant. Not every meme. Some of them make me roll my eyes and go, "Oh boy, oh here's another cat." And some, but the news stories like the one that I'm reading right now about the cops using these insidious methods to triangulate. And so you get wonderful news from the posting.
Yeah, no, I
like a
exactly.
raw story and everything
from all over the world.
my friends all over the world, BBC, and so you don't have to be a slave to CNN and our mainstream media over here, which is just it's our own version of the Iron Curtain. I don't know what you want to call it.
Very derivative. It's just they got
corporate filtered, nothing that's contrary to their agenda and their interests over here. So I love the Facebook and all of these things, and I don't even remember where I was going for that. Now
you were going to tell us what they
was. Well, yeah, those are just showing this as an example. The cops are using this thing called the Stingray. What the Stingray does is it behaves like a cell phone tower. It's an interface that allows itself to be an interface between cell phones in the area and cell phone towers. And so the Stingray reveals the location of the phones that connect through it, allowing cops to determine your exact location based on if they know your phone number. Okay, so it allows the cops to triangulate on you, and of course, then the ACLU is suing, and the judges are telling the cops to destroy the evidence and everything like that. But that's not what led me to that. It's just, I like Facebook because it's a wonderful resource and I get to read about a lot of things. But lately I've been seeing something, and then I've been seeing it again on the news, something that pops up every now and again, and that's this term body shaming. Every once in a while, a video of a fat chick dancing and being proud of her fat will go viral, and she says, "This is to put an end to body shaming." It's body shaming, where we're supposed to people to feel bad because they're fat, and that's and I think they're on a they're taking a step in the right direction, and I think in the name of Kent Wallace and myself, I'm tired of drunk shaming.
Yeah,
I'm
get over it.
I'm tired of the drunk shaming, and I really think that...
Why can't we not walk a straight line? Why can't we say the alphabet inverted?
Exactly. If I say that if you have a problem with me throwing up on your shoes, you're drunk shaming.
Yeah,
you're drunk shaming, and you don't have the right to have a problem with me drinking more than I ought to,
because you're going to drive me to drink.
And the same, and by the way, if I'm angry at you for no reason and attacking your face for no reason, I'm going to accuse you of bath salt shaming.
Yeah.
All right, because I think that it's wrong to give people a hard time if they can't control the substances they put in their face.
And eat people's faces.
So what if you're breaking my furniture? So what if you smell bad? It's because
or you eat people's faces.
You see where I'm going with this? It really bothers me. And I'm not body shaming, you fat ass. You're breaking my furniture and you smell and you're gonna die young and it's unhealthy. It has nothing to do with how gross you look.
Don't get stuck in the chair.
Nothing at all. It has nothing to do with how gross you look. Nothing whatsoever. I could give a crap.
George.
What? About how gross you look. I'm not black shaming Jack.
Yeah, but that's not going to work.
Right.
Speaking of vices,
Because he's got a giant penis. That's why you can't black shame him.
how can you know that you've never seen?
Yeah,
it?
wait
Because
a
you're
minute.
black.
Oh.
Is it what?
Racist.
That's not true.
I'm not admitting or not. admitting.
Well, then that's an admission.
Anyway,
That's an admission, right?
speaking on vices.
He's refusing to deny. That's an admission.
Speaking on vices
Yes.
Okay.
and laws.
All right.
Guess what passed this week?
You're not going to short shame me, are you?
What
Musical Youth passed this week?
No.
Oh no! I really like them. Where are they? Touchy.
No, a law passed this week.
A medical marijuana,
Florida.
a version of a medical marijuana law.
Yes.
Oh, it did?
A very minor, significant, almost insignificant medical marijuana provision passed.
Well, that's
this
good.
week.
That's a start.
That is a start. It's a step in the right direction.
That's huge. Come on.
What most people are waiting for, just so you know, the quote-unquote real medicinal marijuana thing will come in the form of an amendment that's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up.
Musical Youths. No idea what these kids were saying. None whatsoever.
Are
the
they
Dutchie.
like-
I know past the Dutchie. Yeah, I got that. We didn't need a lexicon for that one. But yeah, I don't know the exact details of the medical marijuana thing, but I think it's like it allows terminal old people in a hospice already on life support.
It's a start because you know
It's a
that
start.
you take it
Sure.
one step at a time.
I'll take it.
and that's that's because it just becomes then more logical and more logical, and the next
Pass that
argument
Dutchie.
begets the next argument, and then
I think-
before you know it, you're allowed to smoke, and that's the way it ought
Very,
to
very
be.
soon. Well, a lot of these states are looking at Colorado and all the money they're raking in
Oh,
right now.
and Washington,
Problem
right?
solving. Washington State.
Washington.
Washington State, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely legal, and you don't hear of there's not mayhem. It's
I mean,
just-
we can have endless discussions about that. How bath salts is one thing, but marijuana. Honestly,
I think people that eat faces are tired of you people that don't eat faces,
Yeah.
giving them a hard time,
Face
bath
eating
salt
Twinkies.
shaming them just because they lose control
I
and
don't
want
even
to
know
eat
what
somebody's
bath
face.
salt is.
It's not even a real. Well, all right.
Is that
let's
like
go
a
to-
new designer drug or something?
Not even. What it was, and it's like, it's real, but it's fake. All right, so they had this product. Here's how it started. They had this product that was listed as a bath salt,
Okay.
and that's
Like
what it
you
was.
put in your bathtub?
Like what you put in your bathtub.
Right.
But this one particular brand of bath salts had this other ingredient in it that
Okay.
gave it its particular fragrance or texture or
Okay.
something. And some people, homeless people, excuse me, urban campers,
Who did not
They
have
discovered-
bathtubs.
discovered that if they snorted this substance, it gave them a high. Now, the urban campers are characterized by not being very discriminatory when it comes to their intoxicants.
Right.
They tend to go for the value product.
Whatever's available.
The value product, all right? Since we're doing euphemisms on the show today because of some reason. So it became popular to buy that particular brand of bath salts and snort it and get high and lose your mind and eat people's faces. So then other companies were noticing because they do.
So they started putting it in theirs?
So they started putting it in theirs.
Oh, my God.
And then all of a sudden it started popping
Get
up.
on the bandwagon
Because you know how you would go to certain stores and they would have the what we used to call locker room in the olden days, the poppers.
Right, oh, I remember
And so
those.
at the
Yeah,
porno
yeah.
shops.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and you go to the convenience store and there are the poppers.
Yeah.
Etc. So all of a sudden these bath salts started to pop up in the same kinds of places where you would get your
Like in the
energy
smoke shops and all
energy
that
pills
kind of-
by the pack,
Right.
and your
Oh, I
poppers,
see.
and all of a
Okay.
sudden, and they were collectively known as bath salts, but they had different
I see.
names. you
So
know.
they put they
all
put
started
their
putting
foot down on that.
Less of the.
Well, that's fine,
bath
but
and
you
more
know
of the
that's
salt.
not marijuana is something natural. So this is a product that at some point has to pass the muster of the what do you call that organization when you
Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah, right, or whatever.
Then-
So that's it. Whereas pot will never have to deal with that because it just grows. There it is. Boom.
Sure. How about the mushrooms then? By that same token.
Well,
No pun
in my
intended.
opinion, a mushroom should be fine too. But I take it to a little bit of an extreme. I never blame the drug. I blame the person.
Correct.
And I don't mean another person. I mean myself. I've had problems with substances in my life. I never blamed the substance once. It was like when it got to the point where I was no longer able to handle something, it was time for me to stop.
Sure.
Be
And that's
accountable.
it.
Own it.
Well, that's a good rule.
Exactly.
Well, I believe that. I agree with you, and I believe that same thing ought to apply to to obesity and people being overweight, which is why I'm so really upset at the people that run around going fat shaming, accusing people like me who care, because I've lost 6 people if you want to count Neil,
just from obesity,
from weight related health issues.
Kidding. Yeah,
and
well, it is serious.
Heart disease is the #1 killer, and the #1 cause of heart disease
diabetes,
is
probably.
Obesity. Right.
That happens with
Neil's particular case was type 2 diabetes.
Okay, see.
And it was his second stroke to kill him. And mind you, there were extenuating circumstances, but it was that set him up for the stroke in the first place.
But you know, I think what they're trying to say, and I get this, is the model waif, model thin people. They're trying to say to young kids that you don't have to reach this physical ideal. I know this working in the industry that I worked in for most of my life, that there are ideals, physical ideals that, especially for girls, that they're striving for. And if you look at young girls, good Lord, I mean, they start them in these little catalogs in the stores.
That's not my fault.
Well, no, and I'm not knocking that. I think that has to do with
you're
rearing.
accusing me of fat shaming.
No, but I see where that's born from.
I have
but that's a personal responsibility of your goddamn parents, man.
Absolutely, but as a non-sports watcher, a side effect of that is I have many more female friends than I have male friends. We were discussing it before the show. Right. I get to sit there and listen to my female friends complain about the assholes that they don't have sex with me. Yeah. They have sex with the asshole that they can't stop complaining about. I'm like, but whatever.
Because they like sports jokes.
I love my female friends, and they don't have to have sex with me, and I'm not trying to work towards. It would be nice of some of them, but whatever. That's not why we're friends. It's wonderful. They make me meals. I have a lot of moms. I say.
I know you were telling me about that. But they also cockblock.
But the thing is, no, they don't cockblock. They just don't have sex with me themselves.
No, but you said they're very hard on the girls that you're trying to bring in for your own pleasure.
Sometimes, but I don't believe that they're not doing that to cockblock. I actually think that they're concerned about me because they know what a gullible fool I am, and so they're trying to look out for me and keep me from being taken. Trust me, if I'd listened to some female friends in my past, it would have been better. The first one, but that's not the point that I'm getting to. We discuss this thing all the time anyway about these expectations that are placed upon them by society.
Right.
Okay, and this comes up every now and again as we're sitting at the park watching the kids play. They'll talk about Vogue or these magazines cover and everything, and they'll talk about these expectations that society places upon them, and I adopt my stance as soon as I feel the conversation going there. I adopt my stance. I get ready because I'm locked and loaded on this conversation. I adopt my stance, and I'm like, say men, say straight men, say straight Western men are responsible for this criteria of which you speak. Go ahead, say the words, and I'm like, say it. Wow. I'm like. Because then if they do, and most of my female friends know better.
He pounces.
Because they'll say society and this and then society. Go. You keep saying society. I'm waiting for you to imply that it is the heterosexual male of the West that is responsible for the standard. I'm waiting for you to imply. And as soon as if I see them reach for their gun, and they go,
Make them
Let me alert you to a conversation that has never happened. All the guys, the straight guys, sitting on the park bench, standing at the corner, watching the girls go by. Here comes a little waif. Here comes a skinny little waif. One guy says to the other, Bill says to Bob, "Hey Bob, hang on here, hold my Slurpee. I'm gonna go see that girl over there with the no discernible figure with the pelvic bone sticking out above her pant hem, with the knees wider than her thighs. Wait right here. I'm gonna go get her number." Said no straight man ever.
Yeah, there you go.
Ever. Okay?
Hey,
look at that no ass. Hey, look at that girl with a figure like a 12-year-old Japanese boy. I'm going to go get her number. Wait right here. Said no straight man ever. It's always, look at that ass. Look at those thighs. I want her to cross my head like an egg with those thighs. That's what the straight men say. The standard that you're talking about comes from European gay fashion designers who want to sell you clothes,
androgynous,
who want to destroy your self-esteem, to convince you that you need to change your wardrobe 4 times a year or you're going to look like dog shit. It's their industry. They're the ones behind it. They're the ones responsible for your low self-esteem. But you'll take their opinion over those of us over here on this side of the pond who are trying to have sex with you every 5 minutes.
That's right.
Us you don't listen to. Oh, you're jaundiced. You're jaded. Your opinion is clouded by your lust. I'm going to take the opinion of this man who is defined by his disgust for my gender. That is exactly why he's a gay man, because you and what you look like. Your figure grosses him out. He would rather.
He wants you to look androgynous. That's what the Latin guys say. Meat is for the man, bone is for the dog.
Yeah,
Pavlich used to say, a girl with no tits is a man with 2 assholes.
Ending on a high note. 28 till 2. SoFloRadio.com.
SoFloRadio.com.
No ugly chicks allowed.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Okay. So just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay. Then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
By the Glass.
By the Glass is a show about beverage culture.
Brad Hubbard.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots on how everything works together. It's really all about how we enjoy things, how we enjoy life, and how beverages play a big part in that. I'm going to bring in people that are going to display their aspect of the culture. I'm going to bring in people that are going to show you different products. We're going to look at places where people go to consume these beverages and how they all interact. Things are built around the actual beverage itself.
By the Glass. Thursdays from 6 to 7. Only on SoFloRadio.com.
Said I
7:38, SoFloRadio.com. Kent Wallace from Cahoots Magazine is here.
Cahoots?
I say Kent Wallace from Cahoots Magazine like you're involved with them somehow. Like you do more than just write this column for the art thing.
I'm a paper boy.
You deliver these also?
I deliver them also. You're darn right.
That was my first real job, I guess, when I was 14. By real, I mean not like we had the next door neighbor down here in the Redlands, as a matter of fact. Pull weed,
Yeah, sure,
pay by
sure,
the day, that
sure.
kind of thing. No, I meant like paying taxes. Actually,
and
I paid taxes at
responsibilities,
14,
certain time shifts,
sure,
and all that stuff.
I won awards for paying my bills on time.
Wow.
Yeah, just like the one I got from my ex-wife. To pay my bills
The
on time.
alimony.
Yeah. Oi. Billy Livesays is going to be here. At least I hope. You know, I always put my phone off to the side so I won't be distracted by it. And look at all these. Oh, I got a text from Rick Santese, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, hey, George, it's Rick Santese. What's a good time for a quick phone conversation? Not during the radio show, Rick. Because remember the last time you were on the radio show? And look here. Just so you know, read the last text from a texter called Black Magic over here. Just read the last one.
This at the very bottom or the green one?
Very bottom.
Where's the party tonight?
Yes.
Aha,
it's Friday.
yeah. Where's
so
the party tonight?
My friends, this one, Black Magic.
Where the party?
She's not black.
I would imagine.
But nevertheless, that's
Is
her
she
name.
a woman?
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the
By
people on
birth?
my phone, after if I know someone a certain amount of time, and especially if they're a part of my my social life,
right?
The party people, they have a fake name and picture in my phone.
Ah, that's
so
cool.
if she were to call right now, there would be the ringtone would be some voodoo drums, and the picture of a voodoo priestess stabbing a skewer into a voodoo doll would be the image of the picture for her.
Lovely.
No, she's not black, and she doesn't
That
do
way,
voodoo, but she does
nobody
believe in crystal healing and things like that, so that's why.
Crystal meth?
I don't think she believes in that. Nevertheless, everybody's got a code name.
I
a
understand
code
that.
ringtone.
Well, that's good because that way
my phone
you're
is
keeping them
face-
safe.
My phone is face up right from the pain in the ass police using that freaking stingray
They
thing
might
there.
track you down, but they're not going to know what cemetery to
They're
find
not
the
gonna-
voodoo princess.
Exactly. Well, I don't want, just like if you're in a group of people and your phone rings and this picture comes up, and I just don't want people to know who I'm talking to.
Yeah,
at
no,
any
I
given
don't
moment.
blame
So
you.
it's just going to be a matter of time before you get a nickname.
Cool.
And a fake picture. It's going to be based on something where myself, like some kind of a word association,
Right, that
or
you'll
image
only
association
know.
that I'll know. Other people might, like
It's a
if they were
need-to-know thing.
present when the imagery
right,
happened.
right,
You know, but if they're an insider, they may or may may not know.
Right. I
Who
got
that
you.
person is, if they're part of the same
Jack will know.
particular, maybe not.
Maybe.
It depends, because I have like different groups of friends, like Venn diagrams, and some groups also belong to other groups too. But like they're the people that like to ride to the beach.
Yeah,
The
I
people
know
that,
you're trying
that
to
like
get
to
me in
snort bath salts. They're not necessarily the
bath
same
salt thing I
people, but
like.
some people. See, for
He's
example,
popping
bring
up.
them to
the
the
people
beach?
that I ride, the people here's how the Venn diagram thing works.
Okay.
Some of the people that I ride bikes to the beach with also snort bath salts, but not all of them.
No, I get
You
it.
see,
I get it.
some of
There's
the
an
people-
overlapping.
Right, exactly. Some of the people that I snort bath salts with, they like to ride to the beach and also roller skate, but not all of them. You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
and some of them, and so it goes like that. So it really depends on what I'm doing this evening to see what configuration of the social group I want to assemble.
Yeah.
And there's a chart, points of commonality. I told you, because this is what happens.
Yeah.
This is what happens when I'm snorting bath salts.
You need to.
I just
Break
because
it
I
down.
don't. It's like
Break it down.
I'm gonna want to remember this when I'm not effed up.
It's hugely
And
important and it's
these
brilliant.
are show notes.
Typically brilliant.
It's
Right.
yeah.
Until the
Well,
next
at least
day.
I think so.
Yeah, well,
at the time.
Then you got to get to an interpreter.
I come up with brilliant things like that.
Yeah.
When I'm doing whippets. Here's a thing that I came up with. Here's a thought experiment. Let me lay a thought experiment on
Okay.
you, Dad. Part of the beat generation over here.
Right on, Daddy-o.
If you
So like
woke
Lenny
up,
Bruce is just gonna pop right
if
up.
you
somewhere.
woke up as if from sleeping and you found yourself in a lounge, like a sitting room in a lounge where people were holding cocktails and kibitzing with one another, and you woke up there and you realized upon waking up that where you were and the people who you were among are an immortal race of God-like creatures.
Okay.
And what you are doing is discussing the life that you just led as a mortal, what you did, the choices you made, what you accomplished.
Okay.
This is the lounge, this is the meeting room where people meet to discuss the adventure that they just had as a
existence.
mortal,
Understood.
and what adventure they plan to lead next.
Oh.
Okay, this is the meeting room because you're gods and basically the universe is available for you to pass your time, your immortal
I
time,
understand.
as you
Do
choose.
they have booze up in the in this lounge?
Oh, an incredible.
Well, then who the fuck wants to go back to Earth? I'm staying up there.
Because you're there forever.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you're there forever.
Oh, you get to come back no matter what, so you
can
might as
always
well
come
head
back
on
there.
down there.
Nah, pass.
It's boring. This is a how do gods pass their time.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you're
yeah.
one of them. You have to bide your time. So you
gotta kill
You're in
a
the
little
meeting
time.
room. You're in the meeting room there for 100 years. Eventually, it's going to get boring.
Yeah, it gets old. It gets old.
So a couple of you devise a plan. It's like, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be born as mortals on Earth. We're all going to be born at the same time, right around the same place. And the goal of this particular adventure is going to be to. This is exactly what you're discussing
understand.
there. What do you think the point ought to be of one's life during their lifetime if they know they're going to be going back and sharing the stories with these peers?
Right.
What do you think?
Well,
that group,
what you
do you
leave
think
behind?
that group
I
would
mean,
value?
if
This
you
is why
have
it's a
kids,
th-
do you
it's a
get
thought
to have
experiment.
sex with ungods? In other words, can you
During
have
your-
sex
during your
with an
lifetime,
ungod
when you're born,
person?
during your lifetime, you're not going to know that you're a god. You see?
Okay,
Those
but
are part of the rules.
But is everyone a god?
No.
Okay, so you could have sex. So I would think it would be being a good parent. I would want to do something about parent. I'd want to be
in other
leaving
words,
people
here's-
behind. I'd
here's-
want a generation of people that would be okay.
Among these people, among this culture, when people wake up after their lifetime,
Right.
what is it that they can say to their peers that
Right.
makes them
You'd want to
a
look
big
back
shot?
down,
Yeah.
like from
Right.
What they call it, the Greek place up there, and
Olympus.
and look down and clear the fog and go look at of all the little people that we bred.
Mm-hmm.
Look, we got a good crew. That's what I'd want to see.
So you believe, because this is the answer. This is the answer that I'm going for. You believe that what is respected among those peers is
what they left behind.
If you leave a positive legacy.
Yeah. That's at least for me. I'm not saying that's what
no,
they'd say.
That
would be mine.
That's a wonderful answer. That's exactly what I was going for. I would like to think.
Cool.
I would like to think that is the value.
That would
those
be the
my
cool
values,
part of it. Yeah.
that those would be my values also.
Yeah.
And so, live your life. I think if that were the case, because there's no telling what's going to happen when these lights go out.
Sure.
Maybe the lights will come on and we'll be in another room.
Yeah,
Instead of having to stand before a throne and answer for how we lived our lives,
Right.
we'll have to stand before our peers and share, not necessarily
I got you.
answer,
I like
because
it.
our peers are going to hold us in higher or lesser regard based on how we led our lives. And who are we going to respect when we wake up and they wake up from their life?
Yeah.
What is it that they will have accomplished that we will admire? It's like, Bill, wow, I just watched your life.
Yeah.
That you just
That was awesome. Way to go,
dude.
baby.
What you? First of all, as a teenager, you rescued that puppy,
Right.
and then your friend was going to take advantage of this girl that wasn't sleeping, and you and then just Bill, I was just watching.
You did the right
I'm going to
things.
go watch it again, man, because I just
It made me cry.
I mean, I was really proud,
Like the
of
Lion
the
King.
things that I did and everything, and I did some things,
cried
but
during
I
The
did some
Lion
shitty things too. So and it's like, man, you were an ace, and you had no idea. You had no idea, man. And people, they tried to bribe you to do the wrong thing, and you didn't do it. That's pretty awesome, Bill. I would like to believe
I would
that
say, will you marry me, Bill?
Oh, Marilyn McCool, Billy Davis
Got
Jr.
the wedding bell blues.
I could play that
Well,
now.
Bill
that I
sounds like a hero.
figured out, now that I figured out how to make the audio.
I can. Will you marry me, Bill?
I accidentally spelt Weeding Bell Blues.
Weeding. Oh,
yeah,
dude.
What's on your
That's
mind?
the reggae version.
No, see, like if you turn me up a little bit over there.
I can. Will you marry me?
Oh, I'm listening back to myself.
Yeah.
We're actually watching us. This is what we look like.
Hey, cool.
Over here. I know. But I'm gonna pause that. And then come on in, Billy Livesay. We'll sit right here next to Ken.
Hey, Bill.
He'll move his stuff. Jack will turn on your mic. And there we go. Marilyn McCool and Billy Davis Jr.
Yeah.
No, I insist that you sit in that chair because we have the camera and then swivel. I know. Well, you can actually move that chair over here. I hate that chair too. Okay, you can kill Marilyn McCool and Billy Davis Jr. We were just talking about fat people. This is the result, and this is at the risk of alienating half of my audience because we got a lot of fat people in the audience. 6 people near and dear to me, including my brother, died because of overweightness. weight-related issues, so I'm allowed to be bitter. They don't care enough about themselves to stay alive. You know, why do I have to tiptoe around these feelings that they made me feel at their funeral, at the very ridiculous funerals that I had to go to? And they break my furniture. My friend Kerry, rest in peace, from Montana, he broke, I shit you not, every single piece of furniture in the first, I rented a house. My first place where I lived by myself wasn't an apartment. It was actually a little house. And with the exception of the toilet, which just goes to show you how strong porcelain is, with the exception of the toilet, he broke every piece of furniture in that house, including the 2 dressers, the nightstand, the bed, the couch, 3 kitchen chairs. I only had 3 kitchen chairs. The kitchen table, and the coffee table. He broke them by putting his weight on them in one way or another. He broke my dresser just by leaning on them. And he was only 350 pounds. I say only 350 pounds because he was not my heaviest friend. Only 350. And he died at around 35 or something like that. And my friend, my heaviest friend, who was around 475 pounds, he died at the age of 29. And that was the most ridiculous funeral I've ever been to. If you don't care enough, if you don't care about yourself, if you don't care about your own life, think about your family as they stand there watching the backhoe bring this giant cube out from behind the funeral parlor. Giant cube, like your new beard there, Billy.
Well, I was in Costa Rica for a week, so I decided.
That's mandatory to have a beard to go to Costa Rica. Yeah. So we'll get to Billy. We've been playing music all day long. We'll. I know. Same thing. We're probably going to have a Montana beard when I come back. Although, I don't know.
Well, my son likes it, so he's the one that keeps telling me, "No, don't shave it." I go, "Yeah, but it itches, and you know, I look like Kenny Rogers."
My big thing is I can't grow like I got. It's thin and scruffy right where I don't want it to be. The only thing that I can grow really well would be a mustache, and then as soon as I do, I look like a real spick. I mean, I get
it's a pencil mustache.
I spick right up, first of all, which is not the look I'm going for.
Well, you look like you can grow a really good mustache.
I can grow really good, and also I can grow. I have a good chin, but my chin is the only part of my face that I actually like. See, I have a nice cleft.
Prominent.
A little cleft
there. A little cleft there. It's subtle enough to be a cleft, not a full-on butt chin. See?
Yeah.
It's just enough to look good there. So I don't want to cover that up. And the thing with the mustache is I don't want to smell what I've eaten all day long. Especially, God forbid, spaghetti.
Or nachos.
Seafood, or something with butter on it, like a nice, snapper French.
Yeah, you'd be hungry the whole
time. It smells bad after a while. And you blow your nose. I got to go into another room to blow my nose if I have a mustache, because you just don't know what the hell is going to happen there, and you might get paper stuck in.
It's true.
You get sex
it's a horrible thing. Billy Livesay from the Livesays. Am I saying your name right finally? After all this time, I practiced in front of the mirror this morning over and over again while I was shaving. Livesay. And I shook your hand and almost broke it. That's because whenever I go and enjoy live music, I like to get good and
potsed.
And they weren't charging me for the beer, and I said, "You're not thinking this through," because they were so very grateful over there at Cinema Paradiso. And
you were playing over at the Cinema Paradiso?
Yeah, we did a.
What was the name of that performance? I mean, there was a whole presentation. It had a name.
Yeah, I forget. It was cinema and music.
Cinematic music.
Cinemusique, yeah.
By the way, I just got a text from Rick Santiz, who doesn't know when I'm on the air. Because he's texting me like now to have a conversation with me.
Let's talk.
That was a very good show, a very good performance.
That was a lot of fun.
So I almost broke Billy's hand because I'm a big fat fan of live music, and Billy and his band were in the pocket, as they like to say. That was a very, very tight band, and I just wouldn't let go of his hand. Really awesome, man.
I appreciate it. It was a pretty good turnout, considering it was.
Was that the first thing?
Original music in a new venue. The first
which
show
no one even knows about. I mean,
which is sad.
Was that the first?
It is sad.
Well, the first event of that nature.
Well, they could have had a sign
there, and I hope they do more. It's cute. It's cute and
real niche.
Perfect for things like
good venue, huh? It seats about what, 80, something like that, 70, 80.
Yeah, but it's intimate, and
no,
so
it's perfect.
It's quiet, and it gives you a vibe that for the musician, so you can do things that you don't normally do. You don't have to be like on, you just have to play music.
It's casual enough that you.
So
can
the
let
sound
your hair
is pretty
down,
good. The acoustics in there. Cool.
It's a nice-looking little room. So I don't know anything about your band. My apologies.
That's okay.
We've been playing their music all day long.
Yeah.
That's been them all this time?
Yeah. All this time.
Yeah, but when you've been tapping your knee too, slapping your knee too, that's...
Oh.
Those
Yeah,
guys.
he's been singing along to it.
I have been.
He does a
My
mean
back pages.
ham bone over here. You can see
No,
when
you kidding me? That's wonderful.
when you look back at the
Wow.
video, you'll see him over here ham boning.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
He's mumbling to the song. My back pages.
He was very much.
Yeah.
And during the next commercial break, I'll
Cool.
bring you a bottle of water. And we have a few leftover beers. I don't know if how early.
I
you
gotta
wanna
go to G's tonight,
drinking
and
today.
I'm gonna get wrecked. And I don't know that I'm still. I remember I just got off a plane early this morning from
Well,
Jamaica.
Billy was just
From
in
Jamaica.
Kingston.
You were in Costa
And
Rica. I was
Costa Rica.
in Jamaica.
I got-
we were,
I have
we were
friends.
Arabs.
There you go.
Friends that have moved to Costa Rica and friends that want to move to Costa Rica. So
There's a lot of American expatriates there.
and are they ruining the place or?
No, well, that actually, I mean, they're business people. I mean, they like the paradise aspect of moving to a place like that. Which it is paradise. But I've been there. This is probably my 7th trip over the last 20 some odd years, and it really has. Civilization is blossoming there quite a lot. So.
In a bad way or in a good way?
Well, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I mean, it's great because it's pretty except for San Jose, which is like any major metropolitan city. But when you go to the outskirts, there's very little crime. I mean, there's a little petty crime. You leave your shoes outside, somebody's going to take them or something like that. But nobody's holding you up, and business, it's good for the economy, with the Americans going down there, or the Canadians or whatever. A lot of Canadians have open restaurants and small hotel cabinas and things like that. Yeah,
because there's money, an infusion of cash, and
Yeah.
everyone can work up.
And
And
they-
then the
they
downside
speak
is
English?
It's been discovered, and then
Yeah.
so the people who are purists
Exactly.
are pissed off.
Well, I go down there, I go surfing. Because I surf, and so I've noticed that the crowds have gotten bigger. Because now with the internet, and now you can follow the surf. I mean, you can see that there's a storm down there. So
It's not your private little surf hole anymore now.
But I went to Dominical, which was still very. I don't want to say remote, but it was still small enough and jungly enough. I mean, it's where the mountains come all the way to the ocean, and there was toucans and monkeys in the trees and stuff where we stayed, and it was great. And I surfed by myself, or maybe one or two other people, and it was really a lot of fun. Yeah.
You do the full-on surfing that you can't really do here very well.
No,
with the
I
big waves.
sort of gave that up. When I was a kid, we would go to take the bus to South Beach when they had the dog track there, and
sure.
And but now it's like what we call a lot of rail banging, because the surf the lineup is so crowded that everybody bumps into each other, and there's always fighting.
We don't get those big waves here.
Well, you do in the winter. In the wintertime, actually South Beach has a great break. But like I said, it's in the wintertime, or when there's a storm, offshore or whatever, can send a swell. But what happens is the Bahamas are blocking the swell here.
Sure.
So you go north of Palm Beach, and it gets.
That's what
They can always
what
move to
everyone
Bahamas,
says.
can't they? It's just a freaking island. Just
Have you done any of the surfing alternatives like the kite surfing or the windsurfing or anything
No,
like that?
I tried windsurfing, and it was too much work for me. So.
Yeah, really.
So what do these fights consist of? Because you guys are so
the
chill.
Surf fight?
Surf fights.
Oh, the positioning and everything.
Oh, yeah, I
we watched
mean,
all those
yeah,
documentaries.
you get into a situation where, well, it's very territorial as far as what's the word I'm looking for?
If you're a local or
locals
not.
and things like that. Yeah, but it can, you go to take off on a wave. Maybe you didn't see the guy next to you, and you happen to what we call drop in on the guy when he's already on the wave, and then that starts a big controversy right there. Usually you turn around and say, "Hey, sorry about that," which should be fine.
Right.
But then the guy, he's some macho dude or whatever, and he kind of goes off on you. Hey, get out of here! You shouldn't, whatever.
Wave rage.
Yeah, exactly.
Wave rage.
There's been wave cases of wave rage.
There you go, wave rage.
So you guys wait till you get on the mainland and then just
so
go
that's
at
what
it.
happens. They wait for you. They either wait for you when you get out of the water. Then you get out of the water, they wind up kicking your surfboard and damaging it or whatever. I mean, but
the fuck,
California's really bad for that. I mean, there's a few places in California that are really localized, and they give you a hard time.
They'll beat you up.
Surfer gang
Santa
violence.
Cruz.
Everything I know about surfing,
Surfer
I
gang
learned
violence.
from watching Point Break.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I was just about to say Point Break.
Endless Summer. There's that documentary.
Yeah, and
well, I think that's all part of it because I learned. That's how I wound up back in South Florida. Is I came back to go sailing with my stepfather because, and to me, I always equated Florida sailing slash boating, California West Coast surfing, because those waves year round, right? And then it's the difference. Like it's shallow. You mentioned the Bahamas, and then also we have that we're shallow way out there. So the waves wave can only be as tall as it is low. You know,
exactly.
Crest trough.
Yeah.
California, where mountains meet ocean, like in places like in California, Australia, those are where in Hawaii, where you get those really, you know, just tall waves with a lot of space in between them that you can.
But it
really
does get
surf
flat
for
in
great
those
distances.
places. I mean, you know, well, what they consider, some of the locals, or like Hawaii, what they consider flat would be great for people that are surfing here. I mean, it could be head high, a little bit overhead waves, and the Hawaiians, you know, it's flat today. So
So did you perform while you were down there? Did you
No,
mix that in?
it was
just strictly
vacation. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. As a musician, I was like, I got to work in a gig.
He had his
working a
guitar,
gig down
or
here.
what was
No,
yours?
no, I didn't think about music the whole time I was down there until I started getting to the end of the trip, and then my mind starts going and because I'm recharged.
That's when you know it's time to go home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's when you know it.
Yeah.
There's a professional musician. I got to stop thinking about music for a while there, because most of the people I know, it's like, hey, that's what they do for their hobby. They get off work, they go play music. They don't get paid for it, like Billy does. Billy gets paid. So tell us about.
Sometimes I get paid.
You've got an album release coming.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. It's called Faith, Hope, and Love.
That's the one that we have, right?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Good, because we've been playing music off of it, so now I don't feel so terribly stupid today.
Yeah, I think I gave. Yeah, there you go. That
it's
one
all
right
signed. That's what's part of our collection.
Let's see.
I thought it was signed. It better be. Here, give me another pen. He signed the other one that's on the end there too. No, a fatter Sharpie. A fatter, blacker Sharpie. Tell us about, is there a party? Is there an official release? Is it on Amazon?
Well, the official release was May 13th. We did a show in New Jersey. I was supposed to be on the Artie Lang show on the release date, but DirecTV canceled Artie Lang show, which was one of those things.
Oh, well, that
happened.
wasn't your fault, though. I mean,
well, I don't know.
You don't feel bad about it.
Sometimes I think it was my fault. They knew I was going to be on the show, so that he's going to have these people on the show that.
That's the kind of thing that I would say, because of the Murphy's Law thing that I was explaining to Kent before. That, boy, if there were any opportunities, like, don't invite me on your show, it might get canceled. But I don't believe that. I believe that because Artie's not as funny as.
No, because Artie is because he owes it all to Howard Stern.
Funny
Sorry, Artie.
Moments. Give me a chance, DirecTV. I'll bring Kent Wallace on there, and we'll set the world on fire.
Let's go. Back off.
Kent in his pink shirt.
Pink shirt, baby.
But yeah, this record was usually when you're doing recording and you're doing a record, these things sort of take on a life of their own. And while we were recording the record, as I was writing songs for the record, I noticed that the songs started taking on certain themes. I don't want to say it's depressing, but because the melodies I don't think are depressing, but the topics could be a little depressing, so forth, such as battered women. There's a song on there called Hit Parade, which I just thought the word hit parade, the connotation of being
pop song.
Relating to music, but I was thinking about battered women at the time, so I thought hit parade. Well, person just goes down every day of their life, being battered. So that's about battered women, and at the same time, I was. Is
that like tempura?
Yeah. I had
Kent's here for comic relief.
Sorry, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. And at the same time, I had a few friends that were that had problems with cancer or kidney disease, and I started thinking about how people that have these life-altering diseases, they go through every day of their life with their treatment, and most of the time these people are usually in good spirits, and how do they maintain that mentality of being in such good spirits when they know they're going to have to go get their chemo treatment, or they got to get their dialysis, so I had friends going through that, and this one friend I have whose picture is on the cover, he died from kidney disease. And when this picture was taken, he had just received a kidney from his sister, and so he was doing really well, and he was full of faith, hope, and love, and he's at the beach with his daughter. At the time, she's like 5 or 6 years old, and he was doing well, and they were celebrating. That was a celebratory picture, and then he got sick, and he went in the hospital, and the hospital got his identity mixed up with somebody else's.
Oh no!
So what they did was they gave him medication that killed his kidney. So he was sick, and he in and out of the hospital. So for another couple of years, he's having to deal with that back and forth, back on a kidney, donor list, and so on and so forth. Anyway, he passed in October, and then when I saw that picture at his service, I go, "That's the picture I want to put on my record." And so that's what we did. And his daughter's like 14 now, and there's a few other topics in there about the paparazzi chasing around people that are doing drugs and drunk, and it's like I don't want to be like that. Just a joke that somebody's laughing at.
Me and Kent there, that last one, getting drunk, doing drugs.
So that song is called
pink shirts.
That song is called "Throw a Hand." Just throw a hand instead of stones, because we're always
Did we play that
stones.
yet, Jack?
Not yet.
Well, then why don't we take a break and come back with that one?
Cool.
That Throw a Hand, and talk more about Billy's songs and surfing and great chest hair. Is that? I told Kent.
I lead the league in chest hair.
Kent.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I took a.
well, hold on.
I took a. Woo! Look at that flash there.
I just had mine in dreads when I was down in Jamaica.
I take the clippers to mine just a little bit.
Oh, you don't
just
need
a little bit, because otherwise
you don't have any body hair.
Well, I tried shaving my chest one time because that seemed to be the thing to do.
Yeah,
I was like, forget, I'm not doing
me
that.
Me too.
Anymore.
One time, it's like, okay, I look
incredibly
stupid, but I do take a layer off because I just don't want to have a gray afro growing on my chest.
Gotta be proud, man.
No, see, you're body shaming me. No.
Oh yeah, you're body shaming me.
I'm body shaming myself over here.
Yeah.
They say your ears and your nose never stop growing as well as the hair on your chest.
Oh man,
great. I'm gonna start trimming my ears here in a minute. 205 on all chest hair radio. SoFloRadio.com.
We're worldwide, baby.
Interactive Lifestyle Radio.
SoFloRadio.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the radio loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the radio loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
You're struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
The most important online radio station.
It's easier than ever to listen to SoFlo. On the air and everywhere. On any computer, any mobile device, iPhone, iTouch, and anywhere you are. Just hit SoFloRadio.com. Tell your friends about South Florida's radio network, SoFloRadio.com.
That's how Jack tells Kent to stop prattling. So that we can prattle on the air, of course. Kent Wallace on the George Rodriguez Show, and then Billy Livesay. I have to stop myself before I say Livesay to make sure that I say it right. I think you should just go with the flow.
It's a tongue twister.
Let people say Livesay or change
well,
your name.
They do anyway. The Livesays.
Give it up, you know.
And it kind of fits. You're in the music business.
Like that Cuban beer. It's pronounced Otway. There's a 0% chance that any gringo that it doesn't have a Cuban wife is going to say Otway. They say Hatui.
Hatui. Gesundheit.
Thank you.
And it's okay, and I told that they've been on the show twice. They're owned by Bacardi, so the Bacardi people, their marketing firm and everything, have been on.
That's great.
On the By the Glass show, the drinking show that we have on Thursdays.
I'd like to try one of those.
Hatway, yeah.
Hatway beer.
Malta too.
It's they make the Malta is great. They keep changing the flavor of their beer, and I have to be honest. The current configuration is a pale ale, and that's not my favored kind of beer.
Here comes that drinking snob.
How polite.
It's
I
coming
hate
out.
Be dropping into the drinking snob.
I have discovered
usually have
my education. Well, there are two aspects of beer. There's the malt level and the hop level, and the balance between them is what creates the flavor that some people prefer or don't. Yeah. And I'm a malty beer guy, like Guinness, Newcastle, etc.
Oh, wow. Like
as opposed to a hoppy.
He likes that
as a hoppy
bread.
Beer guy. And I like brown more than yellow, as opposed like the lagers.
That's why Jack's working.
The island beer.
Yeah, pretty much.
I knew there was something a little freaky about that.
Like most dark folks, he works real cheap too. Well, most Haitians, I should say, he works for tips.
Tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, washing hands. Well, not to hijack your show since I'm the producer.
He said hijack. You can't say that. I can't read him at the airport.
Plane.
I understand that.
Can't do that on the plane.
He changes his name.
To bring the attention back to our special guest here.
Billy Livesay, if you must.
You've been here.
Special, thank you.
You've been here a couple times, Ken, so you're not that special anymore. I know. But not as an insult, but you do have like a Don Henley type of voice, and that's real cool.
Why would you be insulted by
that?
No,
because he's an artist. You know, some artists want to have their own individual.
Don Henley, do it! Hey!
I'm my own man, goddammit. But you know, that's real cool, man. It's
why that?
Just throw your hand.
You never know.
He's great. He's a great artist.
Sure, and Billy's band is great, and I say that having seen them live, so that makes me an expert.
Well, where do you play frequently?
Right now, we're taking some time off just after the release of the record, and our for medical reasons, mainly our keyboard player, Mr. Cookie Barrios. I know you're listening, Cook, but he just had his knee replaced, so we're out of commission for a little while.
Amazing what they can do now.
I'm doing a songwriter showcase, Songwriter in the Round, on Tuesday at the Hard Rock. The date is, June the 24th?
Yeah,
and that's
next
a
week.
Chris Vincent sponsored show, and other artists on that show are Steve Minotti and Mitch Clarvett and Stuart Clausen. They're singer-songwriters. They've been playing around the area for quite a number of years, and it should be really cool. It's free parking, no cover. It's at the Hard Rock Cafe at the Hard Rock Complex, and so that's Tuesday. And then the Livesays will be playing at the Hard Rock Cafe on July the 19th.
Oh, cool!
Yeah,
July 19th. All right.
Yeah, they'll still be in Montana.
Oh, you'll be
very excited.
I'm going to try to go to that. I got to try to remember that one. I'll write that one down.
Well, that's a great place. Venue.
July, you said, right?
July 19th.
Then I'll have an interesting story to tell because you got Jamaica, you got Costa Rica, you just got back from, and I got Montana, which is pretty exotic and foreign by comparison. As a matter of fact, I would say Jamaica probably has way more in common with South Florida than Montana does, starting with Jamaicans. like we got some,
or black people,
and Montana doesn't. You got to drive 3 hours from where I'm going to be.
You have one black person there,
to
correct?
see a black person. We did at the time that I lived there. I don't know. I'm gonna have. I'll
he
go
was
back
hiding
and
from somebody.
Take a head count when I go back. It won't be hard.
We have a bighorn sheep, right?
We do. We do have bighorn sheep and all of the big things. The only bear that's bigger than our Montana grizzlies are the Alaskan Kodiak and the polar bears. They're slightly larger on average than the grizzly bears. We are very protected, and they are very protective of their grizzly bears in Lincoln County, Montana. It's very different kind of a place. Most people, if they encounter grizzly bears, the animal control will remove. They'll tranquilize and remove the grizzly bear, and where they remove the grizzly bear to is Lincoln County, Montana.
Well, because they're so protected.
It's the Kootenai National Forest. Cool, is probably the most preserved and unspoiled forest land, arguably, in the continental United States. Wow. Some people in the Idaho Panhandle, maybe some places in Wyoming, might argue that designation, but it's tucked away there with Canada on one side and Idaho on the other side, and there's a lot of the militia people and
are they introducing wolves there also?
Yes, as a matter of fact, they will take any wild animal in that area.
That's wonderful.
If it's indigenous, and I just recently heard that they're coming back. Naturally, not just being relocated, but some wolf sightings have occurred, and there haven't in a lot of years. And Canada, the area that whatever connects, adjoins that part of Montana, is also very wild and very unspoiled wilderness with wolves and grizzlies and everything. So yeah, I'm going to have all kinds of stories. It's going to be the Class of '84 reunion. There it is. You guys didn't park on the street, did you? Oh, jeez. I parked under the building because I'm a tenant. No, that's horrible.
What am I supposed to park?
So
steal a car. So
it's the class of '84 reunion. Even though I was class of '82, I graduated a year early. So all these people are just the people that are 1 year younger than me. So it's all my friends I used to party with, and people that haven't lived there in years. They're also coming back, and it's just going to get so drunk. Kent Wallace and Billy Livesay and Billy.
Well, I'm actually tomorrow. The school. I went to Hialeah High School, and tomorrow is the 60th anniversary of the school. So they have all these classes that are getting together to go to this reunion. So we're going to go to the reunion. Everybody in my band is from Hialeah, so we'll probably get up and play a couple of songs and just
very
have fun,
cool.
Yeah, so.
Wow, Hialeah. When Gringos used to live there, the ex-wife was actually born in Hialeah.
Oh, is that right?
American as
maybe she's going to be at the thing.
Was that the common thread you two had?
No, because I don't have anything to do with Hialeah, and neither does anyone in my family. We're Coral Gables and Kendall Lakes Cubans. Thank you very much.
What a great name of a place to go to school, though. Hialeah. Oh yeah, we go to Hi.
Yeah. My family would drive through Hialeah unless they had to catch a plane. They're snobs, not beer snobs.
Isn't there a race thing in Hialeah? I'm pretty
sure.
The
racetrack.
It's a beautiful place.
Beautiful place, but it's not in service or open.
Oh, yeah, it is.
No, they bring it back up.
Yeah,
they
run quarter horse races there now.
It's weird. But what quarter of the horse is what I've always
wondered. Well, what they did was
the hind quarter.
There's a loophole in the gambling, so they found out that if they have races there, horse races, which they always had thoroughbred races there, it was a premier place.
Right,
Secretariat ran there, and so what happened was, from what I understand, Calder and Gulfstream kind of like forced them out of the equation.
Right.
Yeah. So and it's actually privately owned. So what they did was they brought in so they could get gambling and save the racetrack. They brought in quarter horse racing, and now they've renovated the place. They have gambling there now, so, casinos and stuff. And
that's the rage.
Hopefully they'll bring the thoroughbreds back in there.
That'd be great.
Well, good.
Thoroughbreds.
Still have the flamingos and everything.
Oh yeah,
there.
It's a great place like that. Yeah.
Never been there. Because, it's in Hialeah.
Well, it's very historic.
Sure.
And it's a really, really a cool place.
I've driven by there. Back in my repo days. Back when I used to repo cars, that's the only time I was in Hialeah, driving through there. Hialeah cops. Oh, bad people. Didn't like them at all. You got to meet every police department when you're repoing cars.
I'll bet you better.
In the middle of the night. You get to know the difference between the different precincts. And even within Metro-Dade, depending on the substation, every Metro-Dade substation was like its own entity with its own characteristics and rule sets and everything like that. Fun stuff. Kent Wallace, who writes for Cahoots magazine and also drinks locally, you might be interested in people like local musicians because personally, because you run a medium that is predominantly visual. You don't run it, but that's the newspaper is a visual
But it's
medium,
a great way to promote
and we're audio,
all the arts, and the music is an art. And I know that Cap's very big on music and the music scene because there seems to be. I mean, I know when I first moved here, the mayor, Bober, had wanted Hollywood to be very much a musical destination. And I know that a lot of the little bars and clubs made a concerted effort to feature music. And slowly but surely, I think that's, for whatever reasons, it's not as much anymore, but it's all part of that whole fabric of the arts.
It kind of comes and goes, people get hot on it and then...
Yeah, and then they get hot on the next little thing. But it's great to know that there are enough venues here, certainly, and I love that the Paradiso is actually availing themselves to music because it's a perfect little spot for it. But that's very cool because that's what I do. I write this column promoting the downtown Hollywood art scene. And music is the art, so maybe
he's going to help me out. They're going to let me write a column called "Drinking on the Cheap" in downtown Hollywood. For that, do you have any influence over what they're doing at the Arts Park with that big stage over there? Because I go often.
Well, the CRA is, Lisa is a great contact. Lisa and George are at the CRA. They got a lot of pull, and I don't necessarily think it's because it's a political pull. It's because they're both so into and passionate about the arts here in Hollywood. So, yeah, I would say that people with ideas and suggestions should go to Lisa and George, and it is a great musical venue. I would think that would be a great place for local music. I don't know.
Talking about the Circle.
Yeah, the art circle.
The big band
Circle.
With all due respect, I've
nice
seen some
stage.
acts there that were like, who's booking these?
Well, then maybe it's a matter of finding out and sort of
local
having some
musicians.
diligence. Well, local is always great. You know, on the mural project, you want local. You got to support local art because when local art becomes a cornerstone, then it's easier and you don't ruffle so many feathers as you bring in outside acts, which there's always that tension. You know, it's like, well, why are they coming in? Well, you know, you can't just believe that you can't keep it local. This isn't your favorite surfing spot. You know, if you're going to be a stage for the world to see, then you have to allow the world to be on that stage with you.
Yeah, we could at least have, you know, local acts opening.
But the local, yeah,
exactly.
But even locally, I mean, you can go from, you know, from Homestead to Palm Beach.
Right.
That encompasses a big local area.
Sure.
And there's a lot of really fine talent
and diversity.
Exactly.
I mean, you could fill an evening's worth with every particular genre, and everything is represented. You've got rap, reggae, Spanish, and the other, because the other islands, they want to be represented too.
Right.
You know. And then, of course, I don't know how you describe yourself, just good old-fashioned rock and roll, folk rock, contemporary folk. How do you describe yourself? I know it's horrible, but I have to tag it. You know,
I call it nouveau classic rock.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that.
Nouveau classic rock, very good.
Because I was I don't you know Daphne who performs.
Yes.
I was the one that dubbed what she and Jim Worcester do as contemporary folk, because that's, without being told by them what they were, that's why I was just, you know, writing it down in my music collection over there, because it's very grassroots, very homegrown, crunchy, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because I'm a crunchy child of the '70s. I had bell bottoms, and you know, my first love was wearing cutoff shorts and a paisley hanky halter top.
He's making fun of my shirt, this guy.
That was the girl that was wearing
That's
the
what she had on.
Paisley hanky halter top.
That's what
Right?
she had.
I thought he was wearing
my
a
first
paisley
love.
halter
Yeah,
top.
no, well, for my man boobs.
Well, you had no hair on your chest, so why not?
Not in those days. But
He wasn't drinking gin then.
Considering my man boobs, I was more of a tube top guy myself, and bubblegum short shorts. That's what I was wearing in the '70s. Just for you, Kent.
With nice curly locks.
But I call it crunchy rock a lot, which is great. It's my first love. And what I really like about Billy's music is it goes right up to jam band and then backs off. It goes right to the point where I think it's going to go into a jam band randomness, and then they back right off. You don't cross that horrible line.
We do a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for warning me. I hope I'm really high by that time.
No,
Because I don't like that. God, strike me with lightning right now. I
thank you, George.
like the Grateful Dead. I didn't like
we
two or three of their songs, but then when they start
those.
freestyling, I'm like, you know, you're making this up as you go along, and
I mean, we don't freestyle to that point, but we get involved.
I've heard some freestyling.
I've
heard some wonderful freestyling, by the way. I have this group of friends. They have a band called Jam I Am, and there's like some core members, and then their friends come in, and one of the core members, Sean, that hosts these jams at his house, where they get together and make some incredible, unique things, just very organically, like that. And so there are examples of jam band events and segments that can be wonderful. But most of the time, when I go with my friends, and again, we have a lot of points of commonality. We have a lot of things in common. You know, we're dressing the same and eating the same mushrooms, and we're going. It's like we have all these things in common. And I always wind up. They bring me to events, and I always wind up saying the same thing. It's like, you know what would make this really good right now? Some good music. Instead of this jazz, basically, that, you know, with a folk sound to it, because
George hates jazz.
I don't like the aspect of jazz that is randomness, because to me it's the opposite of what music is to me. The reason that when music creates that feeling that I'm going for inside of me, it's a particular sequence that somehow unlocks an endorphin release in my brain.
But what if they're having that?
And jazz, I'm happy for them, because the thing that is described to me by the jazz musicians that are enjoying what they're playing is that, and I'm wonderful.
Sure,
we
absolutely.
call that masturbating where I come from, where you're doing something for
He's a
yourself
snob.
that
He is a snob.
you yourself are enjoying.
Remember last time it was
But when
about
someone
art.
else
What
can,
was art and
can
what
reach
wasn't
out
art,
and produce that effect in me, that's because you talk art all the time, and you write a column for art, and I'm sure that there are certain kinds of art that produce a positive feeling.
Well, no, there's no question about that.
You mind if I bring something up real quick?
Maybe.
Thank you. I just recently saw this documentary on Robert De Niro Sr.
Right.
And basically, it was just talking about the same thing where his art. The documentary obviously was done by Robert De Niro Jr.
Right.
And he was just pointing out how his art just wasn't appreciated because he was more on the cusp of right before Andy Warhol and
he was at the end of the abstract expressionist. Warhol, yeah,
right, with the simplicity of his art.
Right.
And basically, throughout most of his life, his art really wasn't appreciated. Then you had, he was also homosexual, which doesn't really mean anything, but you had that factor, and then his husband. Robert becoming more famous than he was, so there's a little bit of a resentment there. So that was weird, that same thing you were talking about.
Well, what gets me is really it's like and for some reason it's weird because in all my years in radio they always have jazz and new age stations, they put them together. It's jazz / new age, and like those are the opposites of each other. One is and it's a very subtle, but it's a pattern. It's a pattern. Then you layer another pattern on it, and they're trying to match up, certain points within the pattern and everything, and trying to fit everything nicely. And the jazz just sounds like everybody's doing their own thing. And they're trying to avoid any particular pattern. I know there's a pattern in there. It was explained to me with a chart.
It's one of the ultimate harmonies.
They took a chart.
Yeah, well, there's it's like music in general. There's like so many different forms. So you have so many different forms of jazz. You have the traditional jazz, then you have the avant-garde jazz, where you go off on a tangent and just who knows where you're going and when you're coming back.
The jazz I like is the Cab Calloway jazz, the Glenn Miller jazz,
well,
which I think
because those are songs.
Those are songs and it swings. I like patterns.
See, I'm the same. I like
songs.
songs.
Likes melody. Well, that's what
I like songs. Now I can appreciate.
I've had jazz
as a musician. I can appreciate jamming. Okay, but the problem that I find with the jam bands are sometimes they capture the moment, sometimes they don't.
Right.
Okay.
Your
headspace is in the same place they are, and they just happen to just capture it. But then they might be having a night where they're just not capturing it.
Right.
And that's where they kind of
hit or
go
miss.
wrong. And they have to know when to come back. Instead of saying, well, we're not there yet, and just keep trying to find it. They
and
have
it's
to
a lot harder with rock and roll.
Speaking of knowing, Billy, what's another record on here that you find
another track
that you
there's a song that I wrote called which, like I said, these writing takes on a whole meaning of their own, a whole story. This one particular story that I read about in the Herald was about a woman who, I think I talked about it on your show last time, was about a woman who walked away from her family in Pennsylvania, and they thought that she was dead, and come to find out she was found living under a bridge in the Keys like 10, 11 years later. And so I was thinking about it, how we all have our own little stories, and just when you think that you know someone does something that, wow, I never thought that they would do that. And so anyway, this song is called You Don't Know Me.
Okay. Did we play that yet today?
No.
Okay, good, because when we come back from the break, we can listen to that like we did last time. And I love the backstories. I was the guy that had a stereo review and we could get them free at the radio station. So you can read the backstory behind bands and everything. It's all fascinating stuff to me. I always wanted to have a radio show where I could bring on musicians and have them explain the origins of things like that, titles and songs.
Well, fast forward to modern times. I like watching behind the music. Just as good.
Well, who asked you? No, sorry.
Jerry Goffin just passed. And Carole King's co-writer, he just passed, and I was reading today. It was in the paper today, and I was reading the songs that he had written, songs that I never knew he had written, and actually wrote by himself without Carole King that were like major hits. So many years later, it wasn't just the hits from the 50s and 60s.
Do you remember any of them?
Well, he wrote the Whitney Houston song "Saving All My Love."
Really? No kidding.
Yeah, it's like so songs that were more contemporary.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. The internet's a wonderful resource for things like that. Somebody on Facebook posted, and they're on YouTube. Somebody uploaded the isolated just vocal tracks by Karen Carpenter. They just took her voice. There's just a whole list of them, and you can just hear her voice, and even like the spit bubbles bursting and all that before the processing, and it was so very clean, and it
God,
sounded
what a
so
voice.
easy. The way that she sang was just so easy because you hear I love stuff like that. All of the unfiltered, like unfiltered beer, all of the unfiltered things, but just made it so easy, and I really like that resource. Old outtake. Somebody posted something of Paul McCartney just freestyling one day, just playing his guitar. What is it? Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Who's is it Keith Palmer? Is that his first name?
Keith Emerson.
Keith Emerson. That's what it was. Again, just
Carl Palmer.
Thank you. Yeah. See, all that alcohol and drugs, no effect on my brain whatsoever.
None.
But of Keith Palmer just playing guitar and singing, just live on stage. Where are you going to get those kinds of things?
But that's like with the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds album. There's an outtake of them just doing harmonies without just kind of like one at a time. And it's I forget what it's like, random voices or something like that, but it's just a little thing of one, and then one guy sings a part, and then all these harmonies come in. And it's like maybe
I'm feeling it right now.
The first time I heard Good Vibrations, I got goosebumps, which is another thing, which is a weird phenomenon that music.
It's alchemy.
What a weird thing with humans that music can give you goosebumps,
give you
release endorphins in your brain, and the humor thing.
Mm-hmm.
The humor is a weird thing that we have, and you know what it is? It's surprise. There's if you teach comedy class, which I've done, not really, but there's a thermodynamics to comedy, and it has to do with saying what the person doesn't expect you to say. For example, when I first met Kent Wallace, I thought he was a real asshole. But after spending some time with him, I realized he can't help it. I say, why is that funny? Because you thought I was going to say something else. And it's just a weird thing. You know what? Another weird thing is commercial breaks. It's we make pennies every time we pay these commercials. 25 till 3 on all pennies radio, SoFloRadio.com.
Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, USA. This is SoFloRadio.com.
Free stuff for you just for listening to this station. Yo, we got your attention? Here's how it works. You click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for cool stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple. Free stuff just for doing what you already do. Radio Loyalty. Click the banner to join now.
Put a team of professional consultants behind your home or business computer with Key Information Solutions, providing solutions to your internet and computing needs while keeping you on the cutting edge of technology. Preventative maintenance and networking support, hardware and custom-built computers. Let Key Information Solutions be your personal tech staff for your home or office with affordable hourly, monthly, or annual rates to fit anyone's budget. Call Key Information Solutions now, 954-973-3374. That's 954-973-3374. Or visit keyinformation.com.
Social media marketing. You know your business needs it, but you have no clue on how to do it. And who has the time?
Don't worry, you're not alone. Mouse Media is here to help.
Mouse Media has linked creativity, art, and technology to expand your web presence and increase traffic to your site. Visit them at mousemedia.us.
That's mousemedia.us.
Or follow Mouse Media on Twitter and on Facebook.
mousemedia.us.
Welcome to the Moses Love Hour, filled with friends, live music, and conscious living. Take some time and come on the adventures aboard Mission Control. From the I Love Yoga studios in Dania Beach, Florida, USA, streaming live Sunday nights from 9 to 10 on SoFloRadio.com.
Like the buzzing sound of a reveille, stress will make a call on a woman weeping in the park whose dreams have hit a wall. Someone offers up a little sympathy, she conjures up a plan, but a blue It's funny how we fool ourselves and really never know if those smiling family faces are really troubled souls. What we want, what we share, isn't always on display. We search for something somewhere, a little hideaway. And when it's time to face the music that's been played, do we join the band and play our part, or turn away? Oh, turn away. Hey, you don't know me. I don't even know myself, let alone anybody else. Say, hey, you don't know me, 'cause I don't even know myself. Whoa, 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 we fill our lives with hopes and dreams, but it's really just a test. How we might react to a broken heart is anybody's guess. If we decide to turn our backs on life, it will catch us from behind and rear its head and let us know it was with us all the time. When it's time to face the music that's been played, do we join the band and play our part, or turn away? Oh, turn away. Hey, you don't know me. I don't even know myself, let alone anybody else. Say, hey, you don't know me, 'cause we don't even know ourselves. And the pain reaches out to pull us in, to confront all the choices that we made. Do we stop to take a breath? Ooh, before we confess and think about the leap we're gonna take. You don't know me. I don't even know myself, let alone anybody else. Said, hey, you don't know me, 'cause I don't even know myself.
2:42 and it's storming. I took we normally put Einstein pictures up on the windows because if we get backlit, then we get silhouetted with our very high-tech webcam here. It automatically adjusts to the light and using the highest light form. So if there's daylight shining through, then that's it. Then like all you would see is Kent would just look completely black, and we already have someone for that.
Yeah.
So
beat you to it.
So, but it's just the end of the world out there. Lightning. I'm hoping that the audience, when they watch the video on YouTube, see a whole bunch of lightning. But we were just talking about the checking out thing that you don't know me. It's about a woman that just checked out. and they found her, what, 10 years later?
10 years later, living in the Keys under a bridge.
Which sounds great.
Yeah, she went to the police station and she said, "You're looking for me, right?"
Yeah. See, and
so she was ready to be found.
There's got to be some sort of a mental breakdown that goes there, because I don't think anyone with kids. Because first of all, I've been wanting to be a transient all my life since I was a young person. Since we used to buy drinks and meals.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, we got somebody for that too. Hey, Mr. Pink Shirt. Don't even.
Yeah.
But that kind of a lifestyle. We used to buy drinks and meals for the transients that would go through Montana, because we happened to go to the cheapest bar. We had that point of commonality. We wanted the cheapest drinks. They wanted the cheapest drinks, and more than one would express a very common sentiment that if you have to be at a place at a particular time regularly to do a thing like pay a rent or a bill or something, you're not really free. You're chained to that location and that activity. You can't just really be about your business. Go to a place when you want to go there, stay as long as you want to stay, leave when you're good and done. That's freedom. Anything else is less than that, less freedom. So I've always been tempted to lead that kind of lifestyle. But I have children now. That decision was taken away from me. And I have children now, so I can't just pick up and go to the Keys. My children would suffer as a result. So there's got to be something that happens to a person.
Well, with my first marriage, I kind of did that almost, but I picked up and left, but I picked up and left with a plan.
Exactly.
You know, no one believed that I was going to go through with that plan, which I did. I went through with it.
Was your plan to become a musician?
No, I'm not that one. I was being a musician, and I kind of said, well, listen, I'm going to go do this, you do this, and this, and I will be back to get you and my daughter.
Right.
But no one believed me that I would do that, you know, so I thought that the plan was working well, and that the other people were going to go through with the plan also, but apparently they didn't, and I was the bad guy, and I was never coming back and doing anything. So it is a similar kind of thing.
Yeah, you're a bad guy. Well, I love the Keys, and I'd love to just go down there and live in a tent or in a tiki hut or something. But,
yeah, the tiki hut, but this, we're talking under a bridge.
Yeah.
Well,
so you're romanticizing this lifestyle, which is not to be romanticized. I
disagree.
I've known a lot of people that have taken that route, baby, and it is.
I know people that are quite deliberately homeless and sleep under bridges because, especially like right now, the safest place to be. If you can't be inside a place like this, under a bridge, as opposed to a tiki hut or a tent, would be nice and tight
under the boardwalk,
high and dry. People that were living down there under the Julia Tunnel Causeway, you know.
Yeah.
You saw and it's happening in other countries, but they nipped it in the bud before it happened here. The homeless spikes, they're calling it. Did you see these? Again, thanks to Facebook, or you'd never hear about it over here.
Like bird spikes?
In England, France, and other places like that, very, very similar to bird spikes. They were putting these strips of spikes under overpasses and in front of buildings and anywhere that basically the homeless people were using to sleep.
Yeah, they had those in Costa Rica on the people's walls. They have barbed wire fencing, you know, razor wire put up, and then they have the spikes that you're talking about.
Well, that's why the park benches have armrests now, like in the middle.
Exactly.
Oh, look, the park rest has because we
no drunken benders.
Mixed feelings. I'm a downtown Hollywood person. I'm here all the time, and
I know what am I gonna do now?
A place like this attracts homeless, and you want to attract tourists. The businesses want to attract the tourists. The homeless people detract tourists because they don't want to be bothered. So what do? It's a complex issue. What would you do if you were the mayor, Kent Wallace? Because I have an answer to this. I have an answer to all the problems of the world. In case you don't know. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Let me hear yours so I can tell you how you're wrong and then tell you mine.
Well, it sounds like we could use a lot more waiters and waitresses that know how to behave, so I'd hire them all and put them to work immediately.
Sure you do. Well, my big idea is that you should have help centers, that there should be a place. If you don't want the people in the park, create a better place for them to be.
But what you're saying,
it's called Camilla's house. They don't go.
Says put them on the golf course.
Right.
Use the golf courses.
Listen, here's the bottom line, though. If you've got people who are, as you're saying, they do not want to have to work or be held down because they are people of the, you know, they're doing their thing, well, then forcing them, that would be like forcing them into a camp or something.
Don't read into my policy
unless
you hear it.
I'm just saying, man.
I did not say work.
The streets where you want to be, baby.
I did not say work. I did not say work, but if you give a homeless person a place where they can go and sleep...
Do you know how many people will not go to homeless shelters?
It's called Camilla's house.
No.
And they don't go.
I didn't say...
They don't go, thank you.
I know they don't go.
And they have lotteries, too.
Didn't say homeless shelter. I said a place where they can go and sleep. It can be
like where
a
you can drop the
park.
bears and the wolves off it, so it's kind of like
Why
a
not?
nature preserve for the homeless. I think that's a great
Preserve
idea.
a park, just a park where.
And when
it's
there's too
designated-
many of them, you can send hunters in
But also
there.
a help center, because the shelters, and they're different. There's no cohesion. There's no definitive plan. A help center will be a place where hippies with a budget will actually be able to talk to the people and help them. And because there will be so many things at the help center, so many attractive things like
You'll
the
find
meals
you're going
can
to
help-
need a lot of help, and basically it's going to be a lot of psychological
because the
help and
alternative,
a lot of substance
a
help.
lot of substance,
Because that's
a lot of psychological help,
all
of
that
course.
altruistic.
Of
as
course,
much
no,
as
but it's
lovely
it's
as
a
it
better
sounds.
idea than homeless spikes.
Well, I agree.
Or
No,
arresting.
that's
arresting
crap.
them.
Can you imagine a homeless spike?
I
It's
think
evil.
the homeless spikes is definitely an extreme measure, but there actually is. I have a classmate of mine, a former classmate of mine at the school, who is a former veteran.
Urban camper? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Shut up. Former veteran. And Section 8, which, I only thought that was like a black thing. Like, we're always privy to it.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, you're a racist, so... But anyway, there actually is different levels of it. Section 8 for drug addicts, veterans.
Sure. I didn't know that.
The people with income issues.
Is there a Section 8 for the chronically lazy? Because that's my section.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Okay.
The thing is that, like anything else, there's always a loophole, and there's always people who delve into those loopholes, and that's what eventually happens with the Section 8s, because they have programs, from what I understand, where on a specific day, if you're drug addict or whatever your situation is, there is a room where everybody goes to sit down and talk about it. But you have people that completely just abuse it. Like, if you do, they do drug tests. If you do fail a drug test or something like that, I mean, some people would defame the property, piss on the carpet and shit like that.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's really what puts you in a lose situation, damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. I mean, yeah, the most extreme situation is the people spikes, but then you have people, when you're given an opportunity,
and
these
take
aren't
advantage of it.
And these aren't
I understand.
shanty little places.
Well, he had a section
nice
dog ate my
developments.
homework. Ate.
Yeah,
Section
there you go.
dog ate my homework.
Yeah, that's a
what
little bit
the
of a
lazy
reach
people
there,
do.
Kent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Somebody posted something on Facebook
My
that I thought
bad.
was cute. I'm a big fan of the Facebook memes when they're nice and clever. And it was some quote by a reverend, and if I'm sharing a quote by a reverend,
this must be
anti-religious
good.
guy, the name is very good.
Yeah,
he says,
up.
"We tried to deter a homeless man with metal spikes before, and it started a new."
Oh, right. Right.
It's like, oh, very clever, I think.
Yeah, got rid of that one.
Share,
Many
hit share on that one.
Yeah, very
That
good
was
one.
lovely.
It's
I
not
like
that I might, because it's a radio show and you're supposed to sound all saucy and spicy so people will listen. And it sounds like I'm insensitive to the homeless situation or people.
Sounds like you're being
people
very much
with overweight, with
embracing.
the weight problems. But the thing is, like with the weight problems, again, 6 people near and dear to me died because of weight-related issues. So I'm allowed to have an issue with that issue. I'm allowed to have a problem with that. It was a very sad. All of those events were very sad, and one of them was my brother who lived in the apartment that I live in now, and it was tragic. And I'm
sad.
older now than he was when he died. And no reason for that. Here's a guy that rode a bike all the time, not enough, obviously, and he was overweight and he smoked cigarettes, but he wasn't all that overweight, and he didn't smoke all that many cigarettes. But the combination killed him.
Yeah, but you
not
can't.
only that, their own thinking too is that I don't smoke that much and I'm not that much overweight.
Right. But
well, and also, how long can you possibly live? I mean, there's a quality of life issue too, and that's always an argument. You could say, well, you should live as pure as possible so you can live as long as possible. And so, what are you sacrificing in your time here to get the extra time? If you get my drift, I mean, there is a fine line where
to bring it back to
extra time, and it's like everything else. Each person is different. You could die at 35 and you're not overweight and you're not a smoker or anything.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But with the homeless thing, I'm sorry, Jack. Go
No, to go back to what you were saying about basically happiness. It's subject to different people. It depends on what your level of happiness is, love, whatever.
I understand.
It is subjective.
I haven't discussed it with Nicole because I'm very sensitive to the issue, but Nicole Sandler, who does the show, is a very liberal person who does a left-wing political show on this very station that precedes
before we come
this
on.
show. We had a difference of opinion about the homeless thing because downtown Hollywood was taking measures. They closed the park and everything. And I said, you live in like Weston, in a gated community where the person has to give the name to go see you.
Right.
So there's 0% chance that you're going to come out of your house and there's someone is camped out
You got to worry
in your
about
front
Trayvon
yard.
Martin over
0%
there.
chance that when you go to your Publix, the same thing that happened to me. Here's a real story that happened here at this very Publix as I'm walking out with my daughter and her nanny. My daughter, like 9 at the time, her nanny maybe 13. And you know, my special needs daughter, very impressionable daughter, for that matter. And here comes, and again, I don't know if he was homeless or not. He was a bum because he was bumming money. Right. He could have had an
At
apartment.
the moment he was
apartment
what he
across
was.
the street for all I know, because I'm not making.
He was a bum at that moment.
At that moment, he's coming up and he goes, "Hey, buddy, let me." And it's very obvious. "Hey, buddy, can I ask you a question?" And I said, "No." And I kept walking. And he goes, "You don't even fucking know what the fuck I was going to ask you." And again, in front of my children.
Yeah.
And, all right. And I'm like, I don't need that, and I could have turned around and zapped him with my stun gun, or I could have turned around and said, "I don't give a fuck what the fuck you're gonna ask me."
Yeah.
I have the right to walk from here to my car without having a conversation with anybody, because it's American to have the right of association. I don't want to have a conversation with you. Okay?
Fair enough.
It's funny, you know.
What are you, a Jehovah's Witness?
To bring a
not
little
interested. Whatever. I don't need. So what do you do? What do you do as a downtown Hollywood resident, business owner? You know, what's the policy? And I'm sorry, just my big idea is have a designated place where again, you don't make it the law like they have to be there.
Right.
You
No,
create
I
enough
understand
incentives
that, but none
that
of
they
them
will
are the law.
want,
They have to be there.
that they will want to be there.
And that's good. And that
and
is
then
a
once
beautiful.
they're there, then you have people who actually care,
exactly,
armed with tools
a help center,
and a
that's
budget that can address whatever their particular issue is. Because not everyone wants to be homeless. Because I was
no, that's a fact.
You know, not everyone wants that to be their
People
situation.
get bum breaks sometimes. You know, it's just life.
Sure.
So, you know,
and I want to be sensitive to everybody.
More times than not, there's people that have bad breaks
right.
that wind up homeless.
And even in addiction, I mean, it's like, you know, you walk into something, next thing you know, you can't get out. You need help to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And we don't have a clear, like, because if you are a person and you do want help, I mean, I know that there's Camilla's house and things of that nature, but I don't think there are enough places like that, and I don't think that it's clear enough to the people who are homeless where they can go to get the help specifically that they need. So I think that, you know, a clearly marked, designated place, like and non-judgmental, non-judgmental place where you don't, there's no judgment there, just help, not judgment, help. We're just here to help. And that's all. That's my big hippie idea
the problem
for the day.
Comes there too is, you know, with the help is that you know, you get people that want the help, and then you get people that abuse the system.
You have exploiters.
Well, that's what he was saying.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
and it's a fine line. So you have to be pretty patient, because otherwise it's easy to create the argument that shut it all down because you got someone, and you simply can't do it that way.
The people that work there, and I'm thinking volunteers largely, you know, that's why it's very hands-on. And these are humans. It isn't a mechanism. It isn't a machine. The humans can tell the difference between someone who genuinely wants some help and someone who's there to exploit the system.
At some point, I feel like the machine factor has to find a way in there, because they're going to want order. They're going to want, you know, some type of protocol that we use when we have an addict. If we have, you know, somebody that's hard on their luck, that type of thing. Another episode from last night, Restaurant from Hell, there was a panhandler coming by there, and I just told you about the whole dollar issue. Like, can you spare $1? It's like, dude, we're trying to pay this broad $1.
Right.
And we laughed at it because we're laughing at her, the waitress, not the panhandler.
Right.
He's like, what'd you say? He's like, I'm trying to, you know, get $1 to pay her. He's like, that's not funny. It's like, dude. You know, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't
meant to be funny.
It wasn't meant to be funny. It was something that you just walked in on, and you know, I know they're sensible about where they're located. It's in Brickell. You know, Brickell is what? It's kind of like the financial district of Miami.
You're going to talk past the point you're supposed to start that song.
I know it's playing
now. Is it playing now? It's supposed to start at like
I don't hear it.
3 minutes. Before the end of the show. There it is in the background.
It's soaked going on.
Billy Livesay, where are we going to see you next? I know the Hard Rock thing.
I'll be at the Hard Rock Cafe on June the 24th. That's Tuesday.
This next Tuesday, June the 24th.
It's a songwriter in the round showcase with Chris Vincent, Steve. What do I have here? Steve Minotti. I'm sorry, Steve, if I said
showcase.
Mitch Clarvette and Stuart Clausen. It's all ages. It's free parking.
Well, you have teenagers in their underwear at those all ages? Because I go to some all age things, and it's like, good lord. Like, I bring my own teenager, just like, look, I'm not creepy. I came here with a teenager. You see? Yeah, so I'm not looking at your teenagers. I just, and I got one here. And here's a note from her mom. It's all good.
I'm legal.
Kent Wallace from Cahoots Magazine, thank you for joining us for both comic relief and to add the pink to the show today. Because welcome. Jack and I, all we do is we bring the black. That's all we got. It's the show.
I got to bring some pink.
We need Kent for the fancy, fashionable glasses and the pink shirt. Kent Wallace from Cahoots Magazine, the Arts Walk, which is
tomorrow. So make sure you're out there tomorrow supporting the local Hollywood art scene.
That's it. That's all you have to say. Just walk around Hollywood and
just walk around, because you're going to run into people. You're going to see things on the streets, and you walk through every transom, a new experience.
Can I plug my website real quick?
Please do.
Yeah, that's BillyLivesay.com and the Livesaysmusic.com. I have a Reverb Nation page. Facebook/the Livesays. Facebook/
spelled just like it sounds. If it sounds like Livesay, then it's spelled just like it sounds. Whoa! Did you see that lightning? These poor guys are going to have to slosh through that water.
I'm going to be soaked, but I don't care.
Maybe I'll give you a ride home, Ken.
Really?
How's
That'd
that?
be cool.
Yeah, I have a car, underground parking.
You do?
My car smells like feet. If that's okay with you.
Awesome, man.
It's like I keep roller skates in there. It gets hot. I got all these, my skates, the girls' skates.
Bicycle seats? Because I know you're big on that.
Yeah, I don't keep my bicycle seats inside my car, but the roller skates. We roller skate all the time. Billy, if you're any of your children or grandchildren roller skate, bring them skating. You surf.
Oh, that's right. He does the skating in the rink.
Skateboarding and any of that kind of stuff, but definitely roller skating. What's the name of this song?
Dreamer.
Dreamer? It says you're calling me a dreamer on the.
Okay, you're calling.
That's what it says on the computer there.
See, there he goes again.
It doesn't lie.
Very, very
on the computer over there.
Flu.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah. We got the She Play coming up next, followed by Gnarly Charlie's Totally Awesome Retro Party at 4 o'clock on SoFloRadio.com.
Streaming live from the beautiful city of Hollywood, Florida, USA. This is SoFloRadio.com.